it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it, I can't help you now, okay, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, get push, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, get push. Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up, take a X, and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say done is why you sad. I said I just need a thing. Red tape, got too close, I hate the city. Black face, show you everything you need till you forget it back. Someone said it's sad. I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times, yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my.
Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go pack your bag now, keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you back out. it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. 'Cause nobody else is showing any empathy. Rudely awake and quiet undertaking. Did I do something wrong? Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here with my thoughts alone? I don't wanna wake up messed up, 'cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, 'cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. I'm so sorry that I didn't go to therapy. Thinking everybody, even you's an enemy. Brutally awake and quiet undertaking. Did not do nothing wrong. Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here to get drunk alone? And I don't wanna wake up messed up, 'cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, 'cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. If I am so wrong and so gone, miserable, won't you stick around just for some be visible? But you don't, no, you don't care. Leave me to suffer, erase all the doubt, pouring Jack in my mouth, and a love with enough for the pain and the drugs to be present for now. All I'm right now, and I don't wanna wake up messed up, 'cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, 'cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call a shot to the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world.
shots on the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting a blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' win this. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
It's been a while, yeah. Safe to say over a year. Still it feels like I saw you every day. Tired of hanging around the ones that always need an explanation. I don't need to every day. Explain myself, don't hold it against me if I'm somewhere else. Put all the masks that I had on the shelf. Wish I could stay, but it's bad for my head. Something's coming, I wanna be everything I thought that I could never be. Build me up, these my peace. Figured out by all the points that made me. Used to feel like I belonged to a certain place or a town. Feeling safe, feeling sound when I'm still around. I feel something in the distance. I wanna know what it's like. Don't worry, I'm still with you all the time. Explain myself, don't hold it against me if I'm somewhere else. Put all the masks that I had on the shelf. Wish I could stay, but it's bad for my head. Something's coming, I wanna be everything I thought that I could be. Build me up, these my peace. Figured out by all the points that made me. Something's coming, I wanna be everything I thought that I could be. Build me up, these my peace. Something's coming, I wanna be. Build me up, these my
Yeah, yeah. Black sheep, black sheep, black sheep, black sheep. I don't even write no more, man.
Tell him, yo,
God,
can't you come
yeah.
over?
I'm on my contra shit commando. Pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Yo, think I might have found my tempo. Posted up in my tempo. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Lose it. Niggas get substituted. Nigga, you're not recruited. Cause you're too damn scared to use it. The truth is, you're useless. What? I'm ruthless. Yeah, I've proved this. Keep capping, I'ma leave you toothless. What? You're so dumb to choose this. Yeah, ain't going outside. I make it work. I'm in my bag. That's every purse on my back. Is that your girl? She got an ass. She make it twerk. And why you mad? I got here first. You say you rap. You got a verse. I say that's whack. You probably hurt. Back to the lab. You gotta search. On my contra shit commando. Pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Yo, think I might have found my tempo. Posted up in my tempo. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it.
Why are these boys so stupid? Counting me out, now I'm counting my money. I'm probably gon' cop me a new wrist. Y'all gon' think I'm a nuisance. New style, new me, who this? Yeah, bitch, I made some improvements. Me and the gang been bowling. Your shawty gon' think we're the coolest. Elizay say we got clips. We bout to make it a movie. I make a hit I can't miss. Damn, the charts might sue me. The way I be stacking my chips, stack it up. Probably the bank gon' sue me. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid, cause your mans can't fool me.
On my contra shit commando. Pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Think I might have found my tempo. Posted up in my tempo. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it.
What you finna There's no defense, I'll buy it if I want it. I'm going supersonic, come on, beg for it. Alright, okay, running out of luck. Too much in my cup, Nishi run it up. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you're not my team pop. Shorty, I know. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you're not my team pop. My team pop.
Who really got the block, Sipping to rock in a cop car, They say they wanna party with us, well, that's not much, be that poofy, it's a la-la, My feature price bigger than your bank account. You talk about it, but don't show us that about. These boys only flexing with that allowance. We swimming in the shower. I'm only f***ing you if your toes cute. Brown skin, goddamn, that's my soul food. I'm winning for the record, check your memo, bro. Generation of destruction, you remember us. LSD used to do promethazine. I only THC, Hennessy is my new lean. We no longer up next on top. Like a girl when she counting my checks.
There's no defense, I'll buy it if I want it. I'm going supersonic, come on, beg for it. Alright, okay, running out of luck. Too much in my cup, Nishi run it up. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you're not my team pop. Shorty, I know. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you're not my team pop. My team pop.
I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
It's been a big month of Counter-Strike as we've just finished off ESL 1 Cologne, and now it's time to head into ESL Pro League Season 12 Malta 2020 online. Welcome to the ESL studios in Sydney, Australia for the CS Money pre-show. Of course, we are talking Counter-Strike today, fellas, and it's a fantastic time to be back here in Sydney, Australia, of course, for all of the action. On the desk here with me, Pilsky and Mac, and we've got a couple of furry friends here as well. So just to liven the place up a little bit, Mac.
Yeah.
Do you know what time it is?
Do I know what time it is? I don't know, Jordan. Can you give me a time check?
I can give you a time check, Mac. It's 4:42 in the morning here in Sydney, Australia. So I hope you guys over there are enjoying watching ESL Pro League. Obviously, the main stream's been going on for a little bit already, fellas. We're just kicking off the B stream here for, just this final game of the day. But been quite a bit of interesting action going on already, obviously coming off of ESL 1 Cologne. A lot of storylines to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. And even just some of those games on the A stream. I mean, Navi's just absolutely demolishing Godsent. That's a really good bounce back from their last tournament.
Yeah, look, Navi, they've been a bit iffy online recently. But look, even the match that's going live right now, G2 OG, it's a bit of a throwback to Cologne when they did go head-to-head before, but now it's a chance for them to get some redemption.
Indeed, indeed. We'll talk about today's schedule as well. This is what's been going on the A stream. You've got Navi, Godsent, and also over there with the G2 and OG. Right now, obviously, as you guys are talking about, Liquid and Chaos is going to be the next match that's coming up. That's one that we're looking forward to keeping an eye on, but over here on the B stream, we'll be watching Big up against AGO. So that's going to be a little bit of a different one for us. We normally cast the Australian matches or the Asian matches, but we've been delighted to work on a bit of the European stuff, and we did manage to check out some of ESL 1 Cologne, and we saw Big playing in there. Didn't go too well for them, so that's an interesting storyline already heading into today's matches. Quite interested to see how all of that plays out, but before we do go too far into that discussion, obviously, we need to let the audience know exactly what is going on all over the world for ESL Pro League. It is quite a fragmented situation at the moment, obviously, so we're going to be going region by region, starting off with the Americas region. We've got two groups, North America and South America. What do you reckon we're getting out of this one, Mac? Are there any teams that you're keeping an eye out on, apart from 100 Thieves, you biased Aussie?
Look, there's a mix in there at the moment. Gen G, they've shown some promise. 100 Thieves really not sort of hitting their stride. They need to sort of get out of the slump that they're in at the moment. But EG and Liquid, they're going to be right up the top there. Cloud9 has had a lot of success recently as well, so keep your eyes on them. And I'm not too sure about Chaos. They did just lose Steel earlier today, so... It's interesting to see how they're going to be able to play in their first matchup with Vanity as the IGL. So interesting there. And over on South America as well, I'm looking at Sharks. Sharks are a very good team and should just dominate the bracket.
All right, well, a little bit closer to home then. We'll discuss the Oceanic and Asia regions as well. This is something that you're going to have to wait a little while for. It's not for another few weeks, but it does seem like a bit of a repeat of ESL 1 Cologne. It seems like a repeat of DreamHack Summer. It feels like a repeat of DreamHack Spring. It feels almost like a repeat of every single tournament that we've seen in the Asia-Pacific region, and that's because there is a pretty strong contingent of teams towards the top end of things that seem to kind of win everything.
Yeah, it's always Renegades and Tyloo coming out on top, and the question usually is which team will perform the best and be that sort of bridesmaid finish for them, and which one will be able to step up their game a little.
And this might be the first tournament where we get to see Vexite play for Chiefs as well, so that is going to be a very interesting one, and we can finally see what Chiefs can bring to the table.
Indeed, indeed. What we'll be covering today, though, is Europe, and so we'll take a look at that as well. Now, again, two groups. Pilsky, what do you reckon's the pick of the bunch here?
I think Group B is going to be slightly more interesting, in my opinion. You're looking at like FaZe and Mouse just sort of changing some players around and trying to unlock their potential. Fnatic trying to turn around some of their performances from the last couple of tournaments, see if they can be a big threat. I think NIP had a pretty good run in Cologne, and you've obviously got a lot of those favorites like Vitality, Complexity, even Astralis changing some players in and out. So there's some interesting dynamics there. But we're going to be jumping into Group A, where you can see AGO as well as Big over there.
Yeah, definitely. definitely keen to see how that all sort of pans out. And look, if ESL 1 Cologne is anything to go by, Mac, we could really be getting any number of results today and throughout the rest of this tournament. I don't think it's necessarily too fair to say that we're going to get one thing or another. It's really just a case of wait and see for, well, I guess what we're going to see.
Yeah, well, that's really it. Look, AGO, they have had a bit of a rough performance recently. Haven't actually had a huge amount of games themselves, but look, Big, they've been a bit sloppy. So over in Cologne, they managed to get a map or two there, but they just really didn't have a great time. And going into that tournament as the world #1, look, you were expecting so much more.
Indeed, indeed. Well, we've got a lot to talk about, fellas, but before we do go to the pre-match discussion, we're going to send you guys to a break. Don't go too far away, because Big and x-kom AGO are coming up after this.
Hey Future Pros, I'm a big fan of Vertigo, and I know a lot of you out there probably don't love it as much as I do. So I thought I'd help you out and show you a smoke that will help you lock out the T's from the A ramp. It's a nice and easy smoke to throw and will even work on 64 tick servers. To throw the smoke, get up next to this wall. Find the corner of this tile. Run forward and throw the smoke before you pass the edge of the wall. 9 times out of 10 the T's will respect the smoke and not push through. However, be aware that they can still peek over the top of the smoke, so don't show too much skin. Good luck.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors, and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
The stage is set. From your home to the arena. We proudly support the living room champions like we do the champions of the world. Providing you with the best tools in your pursuit to be a star. Euronics, official electronics retailer of ESL Pro League.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.bet.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Euronics, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GGBet, and America's Navy.
Big and AGO to kick off the day here for ESL Pro League Season 12. It's our first matchup over on the B stream. Of course, you've been keeping an eye on how things have been going on the main stream so far. You would have seen two and well, maybe not quite two matches, but we're getting there, This will be the third match of the day, although it is a 4-match day across the board. We've only got one for you on the B stream. A good one to kick things off though, fellas, and we did get to keep an eye on Big in ESL 1 Cologne. As of yet, haven't seen too much from AGO lately, but Big's performance in ESL 1 Cologne did certainly raise some questions. They went in as the #1 team in the world. They go out now as, I mean, it depends on which ranking you look at, but some say probably the #4 team in the world at the moment, and definitely not the #1 team in the moment anymore.
Yeah, they got eliminated after 2 straight series. NIP took them out in that playoff game. Sprout, a bit of a domestic derby there, so that's a bit of a weird result that you can't really quantify too much. At the end of the day, you're seeing this happen to a lot of the better teams in the world in this online era, where they just, in one tournament, will bomb out or lose an uncharacteristic series. So we'll have to see how Big recovers here in Pro League and what their form and level is like.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how they are actually performing today as well. Look, it was their form that was an issue rather than their strats over in Cologne. So going up against a team like x-kom, AGO, you have to expect them to be a little bit slower than the competition they were playing. Look, Sprout, they were there to make a mark, you know, to send a message, and they certainly set one, but it's Big's time to make that comeback happen at the start of the groups here.
All right, touching on Big then for a moment, Pilski, what are we hoping to see from them? Are they likely to bounce back and become the first place team again? Or, you know, is that the goal for them going into ESL Pro League?
I think it's just to put a better performance in than you saw in Cologne, get themselves into the playoffs, and just try to actually show that they're able to beat some of these top teams. Because I think most people can sort of chalk that Cologne result down to some, inconsistencies in online play, like I said before. So as long as they can put up some better results, then we're going to be pretty happy with that. And it all starts here. First group stage match against AGO. This is an opponent that you're meant to beat, and I don't think they're going to be taking any chances here.
Well, we saw already that first group stage match against Sprout. It didn't go too well for them in ESL 1 Cologne, so I guess there is that sort of parallel between these two matches. But we'll touch on AGO for a quick moment here. Mac, what are we sort of hoping from them? Maybe a map? Maybe double digits? What's the sitch?
Yeah, look, they have a couple of things going for them. I think there's a few maps in the pool that are slightly stronger than what Big have, and I feel like we're going to have to lean on MHL. MHL has the highest accuracy of any Polish player, apparently. So you're going to have to keep some eyes on that, man.
Keep some eyes. Accuracy always good. But I tell you what, fellas, it's time for you two to be accurate in your analysis, because we're going to head into the map Veto. Now, I don't want to mess things around too much, so we're going to go ahead and look at the Veto straight away. See the first two bands here, hopefully on the screen fairly shortly. Overpass and Train taken away. So couldn't tell you who's taken what, but we do know they're gone.
Well, AGO is going to pick Vertigo.
Okay.
Big's going to pick Dust 2, and then it's going to be Inferno left over. That's my pick.
All right. Well, what about you, Pilsky?
Let's just see. Let's just see how it goes.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see how it goes.
Maps.
We'll try to figure this out as we go. So Vertigo is picked, and Mac's right. Luckily, that you're on point.
I was almost right.
All right. So what is this actually, Mac? Can you confirm Can you confirm for me?
Yep.
Who has picked Vertigo? Who has picked
we're
Dust
playing
2?
the guessing game. Well, I can tell you that Big has picked Dust 2. They got a 90-something% win rate on it, just demolishing everyone. You've got AGO picking Vertigo there.
Yep.
They should have the better stats. And look, going to Mirage, I feel like this should be a big veto.
Yeah, I mean, you're perfectly on point, Mac. Even though the graphic hasn't shown it, AGO are the team that picked Vertigo, which obviously means Big's gone for Dust 2.
Yeah.
Mirage, the final map choice there. So your analysis very, very good. So you must be feeling pretty good about yourself, but how are we feeling about the veto in general? Who's taken the advantage here? Who are we expecting to come away with this series? And what's looking like the likely result?
Well, look, Big's map pool in general is just a little bit stronger. And looking at the veto, look, Mirage, they've got a bit of an advantage. They play a lot of Vertigo as well. And AGO, yes, they've got a better win rate on Vertigo, but they're playing a lot of the worst teams in the region. So Big have had to take it against a couple of other bigger opponents as well, and it hasn't gone too well for them.
Yeah, I think map stats is kind of like apples and oranges at this point. You're talking about a completely different level of competition in Europe. Big's playing some of the best teams in the world at the moment. AGO, they're playing at a level lower than that, and they still have some pretty shaky stats overall. So for me, maps aside, and just in terms of map win percentages and everything, AGO really has to step up to this Tier 1 European level, and they've just qualified for this by beating Sprout, a team that gave Big trouble in Cologne. Let's see if they can actually step up here, try to actually push Big a little bit. I don't care if they take the win here, but they need to show that they're a strong team in Europe and they're ready to step up, and they're not just qualifying for Pro League and then not putting in some hard yards once they get there.
Taking a look at the GGBet odds here as well, it obviously heavily favours Big, which is not too big of a surprise. AGO are coming in as the heavy underdogs. What are the realistic chances, though, for them? Is the realistic chance that they can get a map?
I think if they're well prepared and their players are actually playing quite well, I think they have a decent amount of talent. But it's going to take some complacency, similar to that Sprout game from Big. They got very, very slow to start on Mirage. We had some individuals that are underperforming a little bit compared to their normal level.
Yep.
It's going to be about Big's complacency, and similar to what you saw from Sprout, some very, very solid individual performances across the board from everyone in AGO to be able to try to take a map here, or at least do a little bit of damage.
Yeah, and look, AGO as well, they did actually beat Sprout recently. So
twice.
Could be a bit of a love triangle going on.
They actually beat Sprout to qualify for Pro League here.
The argument there, though, for Sprout against Big was that was more of a domestic matchup. So does that sort of play on your mind at all?
It plays hugely, 100%. It's going to be very, very difficult for AGO to take an upset here, which is why I say, even if they did get the upset, look, we're at the very start of the Pro League group stage here in Europe. They've got a lot of strong opponents to go through. I don't think there's a realistic chance they can get into that top 4 and actually qualify. At the end of the day, this qualification for them is about development of their team and showing some good results. And as long as they do that today, I'm satisfied.
Well, I think we're pretty close to getting underway with the game, fellas. So why don't we go through our predictions? I feel like I have a bit of an idea as to which way you might be leaning, Mac, but you're first up.
I'm going to go for the big favourite with Big because, look, I always love an underdog story, but just to get it right, look, I like to get it right.
Is it going to be a 2-0?
Probably.
All right, Pilsky, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go big 2-0 as well. I reckon there's probably going to be one map here where AGO actually puts up double digits, puts in a pretty decent performance, and I reckon there's one map that's going to be a bit of a blowout.
Interesting, interesting. All right, well, I guess we're going to have to find out. We're about 30 seconds away from the game, so I guess we'll, rub our hands together, eagerly await this first game. And any final thoughts before we jump in, Mac?
Oh, I just want to see some beautiful Searson headshots with the Scout. The man is a master with that weapon.
All right, well, looking forward to that as well, and looking forward to a good first game, at least for us here on the B stream of ESL Pro League Season 12, as we head into Big up against x-kom AGO. The first map, it'll be Vertigo, and this has to be an upset from AGO, otherwise they're going to find some struggles, but Big are looking for redemption after ESL 1 Cologne.
All right, so getting straight into this one. Looks like CTs are going to get a bit aggressive over towards the A ramp. Furlan waiting down at the bottom with a bit of mid presence from AGO. They're going to be starting to make their way forward. No CTs here to hold, though, as we see Searson coming back on that rotation. Might be first contact. Oh, going very wide, and he's going to be punished. Oscarish gets it done straight over, jump up onto the B site. Split starting to come through Tizian. Only good for the single as MHL comes through for the double trade. That's going to be B site fully found. Tabson and Zentaras. What can they do in a 2v4?
I'm going to wonder, because a 2-on-4, not an easy prospect for them. Smoke for Tabson, flash there as well, but is he realistically going to have much of a chance to use it? Maybe he can pop Zantaras in with that flash, but AGO are set up very, very nicely. They've got a good post plan here, and it's very hard to believe that Big are going to come away with the pistol from a position like this. Tabson cops some damage, Zantaras traded down, and so is Tabson in the end. x-kom AGO will go up 1-0.
Yeah, great couple of kills coming out from Fiku there.
Yeah. That's a nice pistol to get them off to a good start here. Get the momentum rolling on that T side is exactly what you wanted to see. It seemed like they had a pretty good idea where the weakness lied in that 2-on-2 sort of a setup from Big. Late rotation into middle. There wasn't much emphasis over there. They isolate that duel versus Searson. Bust mid open wide and just head straight into that mid to B split. So very, very nice to see from x-kom. They're going to get a buy here. There will be a force in response from Big though. And Searson on the scout straight away here, Jordan.
Big fan of the Scout, as you would know, Pilsky. Always keeping my eye on the sharp Scouters. Searson does miss that shot and actually cops a little clip back. It's like his toenails have been clipped off there, to be honest, but MHL will finish the job with the AK, doing well from the bottom of ramp and continues to just farm up a little bit on the anti-force buy. So far, not too bad from AGO. Zantaras, however, is trying to show us something a little bit special with that Scout.
Let's see if he can find one more. MHL knocking on death's door as we do see x-kom AGO going for a bit of a rotation. Oscarish leading the charge, but nice read from Big, just dropping that smoke at mid to slow the push down for another 18 seconds or so. Tabson looks to just hunt forward here. Just wants a bit of information to play off. But he's going to find a very big surprise around the corner and can't get the pink either. So Mac 10 starting to farm up a storm, but Zantaras and Keto, what can they do?
Well, Keto is on the B-bomb site, which is where AGO are headed. Deagle in hand for Keto. First couple of shots do connect. MHL is low, but Fiku comes from behind and salvages the situation for AGO. Zantara is in a 1-on-2. Does have a Deagle, does have a Scout. He's got some util to work with in that smoke as well, but he doesn't have a defuse kit, so he's going to have to speed things up a little bit here, Matt.
Just edging forward. Finds the timing, and Groovy will deal with him effectively. So AGO will get a second, but it wasn't as clean as they would have liked. 3 men falling, at least 2 AKs have been carried through, but Big just certainly making that one costly. And off the back of this one, will we see that beautiful force buy to try to keep the economy low, or are we going to see a bit of discipline?
Ooh, this was pretty sharp from Zantaras. That's a dirty shot indeed. Don't know really what to say about that one, but hey, Zantaras, a lot of people are quite excited to be seeing him play in Big. Always been a player to keep his eye on, even back in the Space Soldiers days.
The man sits very close to his screen, loves to give it a peck on the cheek. But look at this, Big, all 5 men over towards the top of ramp now. Just hoping that AGO fall into the trap. But again, Oscarish, he does have another Mac 10 to play with, and he's just probing over towards middle. Here comes the push off the back of a flash, and the double dink Searson making this one look nice. And a second as well, Tizian. This is going us up at the moment.
It is a little bit, but Big, at least luckily for AGO, don't have any armor on Searson or Xantares, so maybe the effectiveness of those AKs is going to be negated a little bit. Number advantage, though, for Big, and this is very realistically a winnable possible round if they trade out effectively. No kit, though. Only one smoke. There aren't that many avenues for them to get into this bomb site, and that's not a great start. Fiku does manage to drop Tizian, backs away, plays another angle, and now it's up to Quito to find a little bit of that info. Xantares, he'll peek around the corner, won't see too much, and now you're starting to think for Big, maybe we just save these AKs into the next round. That'll help the economy, gives us 2 AKs, which are obviously good weapons to have on the CT side as well. So, end of the day, can't complain too much about that eco for Big, but they might have liked to have won the round a little bit more than saving 2 AKs.
Yeah, definitely made it very expensive for x-kom. They haven't built up their money too much after these couple of gun rounds, dropping guns here and there. Giving an AK to Xantares is never a good idea either. The man's first bullet accuracy is absolutely disgusting. So that will have to be something that x-kom will have to contend with. But a good start on their T side of Vertigo here. That's what we wanted to see. But can they keep this stream of rounds going? Can they get off to that 5-0 start on the T side? Be able to reset that economy of Big yet again?
Well, that's a big question, isn't it? Because Big now have the guns in hand. So this will be the round that's actually quite a bit more difficult for AGO, and this is where we're going to really get to see whether they've got their chops on Vertigo or not.
MHL just trying to find a line over the top of the bottom ramp smoke. Looks like Xantares did actually get spotted and tagged through, though. As Furlan backs away. Again, AGO very present over towards mid. You don't see a huge amount of teams going for this early mid control over and over, but AGO seems to be the key just to condition Big, make sure that they are playing quite deep on those sites. Working well for now. Mitchell, his scope will be heard. Tizian is waiting at the ready.
HE Nate doesn't manage to connect, and AGO just walking their way up the ramp for the moment. Not finding too much. Big are quite content to sit around here. That's a nice pick for MHL. Does he die? He does.
No!
I don't even know what he got stuck on. But in the end, Tizian actually gets the trade, which I mean, he ought probably not to have.
It's a 1-for-1, 40 seconds on the clock here. Here's where x-kom can try and throw a bit of an execute, but with only 2 smokes and no flashes to get into the site, as well as this utility delaying from Big, this is going to be impossible with 30 seconds on the clock here, Mac.
And that was such a sick Molotov as well, sending Tabson in, just able to fully control over on the elbow now. Furion just trying to find another one. And Xantares falls back to Tetris just in time, and again, Tabson, just so much control here over towards short. Xantares up for one, Tabson on another. And it's all up to Furlan in the 1v2 to clutch it. But for now, it looks like that's not going to happen. Tabson denies him the smoke, not enough to deny anything but the vision. And there it is. AGO, they lose their first round.
Yeah, but it's a fairly expensive one for Big, isn't it? They do lose 3 guns. Luckily, Wizard taking the 2 AKs into that round does help them out a little bit. Extra cash.
Just such an awkward situation for MHL. He didn't know which way to go to survive, and just something seemed to screw up there. But look, I have to mention that Big, they are very good at holding onto this utility until they need to use it. Just keeping it on the CT side for the retake is so good.
Yeah, now you're seeing the consequences of dropping all those guns on the T side previously. x-kom, they're completely out of money. They have to go down to 3 pistols. Very limited utility, very limited grenades. No flashbangs yet again to try to flash some of these sharp riflers from Big off the angle. So it's going to have to be straight up aim duels taken from x-kom just to be able to take ramp control here.
Nice placement on the nade. Doesn't get any damage done though, and Xantares making a huge amount of noise as he goes for the rotation back to short.
So now you're going to see x-kom try and set up these smokes onto the site, but still utility being held by Big for quite a long time, as you did highlight, Mac. So it's up to Big to be able to drop that utility defensively, be able to buy themselves time for those rotations.
Tizian's done just that. And Not sure what's happened for Xantaras there. A little bit unfortunate. Tizian hides himself in the smoke. AGO are trying to push up through Scaffold, but Tizian finds the perfect timing. The spray down doesn't land on the second. USP out now. Dives inside of the smoke. He's gotten all around behind them. And somehow he's gotten a kill onto MHL as well. That is a very strange round indeed, and Big are reaping the benefits for it. It's a 3-on-2 now. AGO have no util. They don't have any control on the site, and I'm not sure how they're going to get it.
Mate, that was Tizzy just getting full dizzy there, unawares of his surroundings, and the T's didn't know either, but again, Sisson just going to be threading the needle. Big 2K to close the round out.
And that's breaking the T-side economy there. x-kom, they're going to have to take a single save to be able to get AKs and armor in the next round with limited utility. They could really use a bomb plant here, get a couple of extra smokes and flashes, because they've really lacked for flashes in these last couple of rounds to be able to get onto the site. Taking these aim duels and dealing with big superior utility in towards this mid to late round has just been an absolute nightmare for x-kom to navigate through.
Here's that bottom ramp smoke being lined up. Searson dropping that and keeping control of mid for now. But AGO, looks like they are going to test the other side of the map now. A bit of presence over towards the B stairs. As AGO start to make their way through, looks like they're going to be going for this boost. Right up on the side. Let's see if the timing works out, but that's a beautiful nade to send them packing.
Get that cone out of there. Need to have perfect 20/20 vision here for Keto, because all of AGO are going to walk their way up the stairs, but he plays a bit of an off angle and they're not prepared for it. Taps and helps out as well, and that's way too easy for Big. They keep all 5 guns alive, and that is the perfect anti-eco to get that CT economy rolling.
Absolutely. Look at their cash. It's absolutely phenomenal at this point, Jordan. You know, you're looking at x-kom, glass cannon for MHL, pretty limited utility across the board on the other 4 players. So going to fall to some of the same issues as you're seeing. It's nice to see them get off to a good start after the pistol, but this is where you need to put in the hard yards to get through some of these gun rounds. No Molotovs here to be able to clear out certain positions, so if you see them going towards secret here, they won't be able to buy that space to be able to do so.
But Furlan's going to be sent straight through that smoke, already up to the sandbags. Xantara's fully aware of the situation, so doubles back to Crane for now. But look how far up Furlan's made it.
Yeah, you're seeing Fiku getting aggressive on the other side of the map simultaneously as well. So you can see x-kom just aggressively posturing for picks already. That first aim duel hasn't gone their way. Now Furlan is probably going to feel pressured to go even deeper and try to make something else happen while the rest of x-kom grabs that bomb, regroups towards ramp. But Big with already this one map advantage, already with a utility advantage, are feeling pretty comfortable here.
Yeah, a lot of deep control in mid as well from Big. So the early rotate comes across. Tabson on the A bomb site now as well. MHL continues to look for entries with that AWP, but he's not being gifted any opportunities at the moment. Furlan, however, gets one and it's traded down by Oscarish. Tabson, also good, solid on the bomb site. Keeps it back to the 3-on-2, keeps the numbers advantage in Big's back pocket.
Well, let's see if Furlan, Groovy rather, can get any work done. MHL on this glass cannon, just looking to do some shattering of his own, but Big just not giving them anything. And again, Tabson just so late in this round, still has a smoke and molly to play with. This should be essentially the securing point, but Keto on the flank, only good for one. Groovy able to go for the trade, tries to get his mitts on that AWP, but Tabson, great aggression, knowing that Groovy had to peek the lowers from that ramp area. So it was just some great coordination.
Really good trading as well from Big. Every single time AGO was able to get one player down, Tabson was there, or someone else from Big, but a couple of times it was Tabson. Able to just trade it out, ensure that they kept that numbers advantage and continued to make life difficult for AGO, which is what is actually happening economically as well. AGO have to go down to the pistols. They do have a bit of util here, some armor as well, but Big have kind of looked pretty comfortable on this CT side so far, and that kind of worries me for AGO.
They're already in a rough position. See Big starting to build up some money. This is where the T side loss bonus enables the T's to be able to buy up pistols, bit of utility, try to go for a little bit more damage.
Oh, the timing not going to be working out for AGO at all, but Xantara's that spray also not working. Nice nade, huge damage on that one.
Dirty.
The one way to make it even harder for x-kom to push through. The nade stack straight onto the crate. Xantara's just dealt with, absolutely airstriked out of the server. Now AGO, they're going to potentially throw the go signal. No, they're going to fall back, actually. Straight back down the ramp. They're going to slow things down after finding that.
Oh, no! Tabson! He's fallen off the side.
Wait, did he get team flash and then ran off the edge?
I think so. Oh, no. That is a travesty. Anyway.
Well, AGO have a 2-man advantage now. They're going to start walking towards this B site. You can see Keto, he's scrambling to get into position. Hasn't dropped that smoke yet.
It's just a matter of seconds. Keto doing some great work to hold. Good trade on the Deagle, though. Back to the 3-on-2. AGO still with a man advantage. Good timing on the smoke, but Searson going to be caught with a knife in hand. Goes back for more with the AWP as he tries to dance around here over towards the grey box. Him and Tizian looking to go in together, trade this one out. Groovy going to get flicked on. Yes, Searson, great effort. Tizian as well, just clearing out the back of Gen. MHL couldn't do a thing about it. And Big, successful retake in that 2v2.
I still can't believe what happened in that round. And yet Big still goes and wins it.
Well, it was like perfect retake utility that they threw, except for the one flash, which obviously sent Tabson off the side of the building.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you don't see it often, but when you do, beautiful.
Impact player, Searson. Watch this. This is the flash that Tizian throws. And watch the background, because you'll see Tabson just go sliding off the edge.
See you later.
So he gets team flashed and then just keeps running and dies. That's hilarious.
Unfortunate. Takes a bit of a nosedive, kind of like x-kom's T side is at this point, if they don't start getting some more gun rounds on the board. Big with 5 in a row, really getting warmed up, fired up, and their economy's in full swing at this point. At least one more buy in them. So they've had some pretty solid gun rounds up until that last one.
How good was that nade stack, though? It was the free kill, and it almost won the round for them, except Big just too strong there on the retake.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not able to close that round after someone falls off the map and you get a nade stack kill, you're in a bit of a rough state of affairs. But at the same time, these big players, they're looking pretty sharp and warmed up. Definitely not as slow to start as we saw in that Sprout game, which is a good sign for Big.
And again, Furlan straight up onto the rafters. Nice positioning, not going to be spotted initially.
Ooh, this is risky for Tizian. He's copping a bit of spray, but he actually doesn't go down just yet. There's a response as well. Some util damage over to AGO. Very quick up the scaffolds, though, is Furlan, as you mentioned, Mac, but he's going to be challenged by Tizian, and it's a 1-for-1 in the end. Again, Big, very good on the trades.
It's a nice reaction.
This is where you're going to see AGO slow down a bit with that one-man advantage, though. Groovy actually finds the pick over towards that middle area, which leaves the B side open. You're going to see Tizian scrambling to get into position, but he's only got 20 HP here.
See if he can get out in time. Straight across to CT, but he whiffs the spray. Zantara's on the trade. Game is okay for the moment, but now it's all up to Searson in a 1v3. And yes, he's sharp, but look, trying to get past 3 of these Ts is probably too much.
That's just great mid-rounding from AGO. You can see them really work the map fantastically, but Searson in on the flank here.
Let's see what he can do. Doesn't hit that shot and will be punished for it. It's a tough shot for him to hit, to be fair, though, so give him some credit. 5-4 for Big, and AGO get themselves their first gun round. It's a nice little comeback from them. Obviously, things were not too far out of the realms of possibility, but it's always good to just keep it simmering a little bit for AGO.
I think the state of this half is very much simmering. Seeing AGO, they've got about $1,000 in the bank accounts. A little bit more on some of their players. They're going to take another tack timeout. As for Big, this is the situation where their economy is a little bit shaky now. To invest fully into this round, they're going to have to break the bank account. And AGO, I feel like they know this. I feel like they realize this is the important round. You break Big here and now, you got 5 apiece, you force them on into an eco, and then further past that point, if they do get a buy following that, it's going to be a little bit weaker of a buy in terms of the utility. And that's where you've seen them do their best work. When they have that full belt of utility in the mid to late round, it seems like they're able to get on top of x-kom.
I think it's just x-kom, or AGO rather, not going as fast as they could to bait out some extra utility. But again, just some early solid utility from Big. Just keeps on just, like, at least isolating them again. Fiku going to be going up solo, MHL joining. But this off angle from Keto looks so good. It depends on how the util is used from AGO as they start to make their way through. Big nade stack, expecting them over to be in the cutout there. But again, Keto just slides that line perfectly. Bit of a wallbang on an MHL. A second found as well, and he's hungry for more.
Yeah, great stuff from Keto so far. AGO just not prepared for the repeak at all. And that's not necessarily gifted the round over to Big just yet, but it's certainly made it a lot easier. Rotation coming in for the A bomb site. It seems that AGO do like to go to the A bomb site quite late in the round. Furlan's already pushed up.
This is one of those moves where you can see the T's hit a couple of those entries, and all of a sudden, if they use the right utility towards the back of the site, they can cut the rotations off and put themselves in a decent post plant.
See if they can make their way in. Furlan doing great work here on the back of the AK. Wants to go forward, but doesn't want to overextend. Ooh. Somehow gets binked through there. Just tagged through the wall. Searson, a force to be reckoned with.
They're going to get the bomb down, but they're starting to run out of time on these smokes. Only just do get it out, and it does look like they're moving into a post plant now, but Big's starting to contest. k1to gets cleaned up on the flank, and it looks like Big's just going to save from here, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Furlan just walks up ramp in that aggressive position time and time again. He finds those 2 entry kills, and when those smokes get down, that's where you see that the rotations are segmented off from the initial push. There's no support. You're into that part of the round where there's limited utility left over on some of their players, so x-kom, as long as they walk in there and get those sharp entries, it reminds me both of the sides really on this map, similarly to B-side on Inferno. If you could just get in there, you get those key couple of kills and you get the utility down to cut the rotations off, you can win rounds from a disadvantageous position.
Which is exactly what AGO did, and it's pretty unfortunate for Big. You know, they started so well. You got a feel for k1to. He was the one that got picked coming back on that rotation. Had he survived at the bottom of ramp, maybe a different story for Big, but you have to say there were a couple of other players that could have picked up some of the slack in that round as well, because he already got 2 kills. It's attack pause for Big. They're probably trying to figure out what they actually want to do with their money right now, because they saved those 2 guns through, but they didn't really have enough cash to fully invest, so they're going to have to buy around the 2 weapons that they saved. 5 apiece is the scoreline. AGO starting to make a little bit of a comeback here on that T side. They did win pistol, but then they lost 5 rounds in a row.
It's been a solid approach so far from AGO, but if they can stack on a few more, you know, that would be what they really need here on their map pick. Obviously Big, they've chosen to start here on the CT side.
You've seen the impact of that play from Furlan on Big's economy. Like, you just absolutely fantastic work from the man. He's cooked the CT's money. You do still have that AWP, or the double AWP actually, with a couple of upgraded pistols, so it's not like this round is a freebie for x-kom by any means.
Look at this boost too.
Yeah.
Potential for a nice free line, but that's if someone walks into it, and it looks like AGO aren't going to be gravitating. Oh, maybe they are.
Yeah, they're heading in that direction here, Mac. Looks like they're going to nade stack. Is that towards the box?
Ooh, looks like it is. Oh, a little bit high on that one.
Didn't quite work out for a bit of utility used. And Big actually fall off, so that's nicely done.
Oh, hold that thought. Ruby does go down. tabseN just walking forward. I think AGO have kind of given away their intentions with all of that utility usage.
Seeing the forward position yet again from Furlan. They're just walking into the AWPs. No utility usage here, boys.
Well, they have no flashes left, AGO, so I'm not sure where they really turn from here. An AK's retrieve for Tizian as well. This is bad news for AGO. Just when they start to look like they're getting a little bit of control back in the first half, they can't afford to drop a round like this.
A slow approach up the B stairs now. All 3. A very one-faceted approach at the moment. tabseN going to be forced off the line with the molly. Just barely misses that mark as now again AGO finally trying to get back into the round. tabseN able to dance around the smoke here. 2 for him. Can he get the third? Not quite. Fiku 1v5. Well, how's his chances here? He's got 5 seconds to plant, just waiting for a rush through, but he's missed the opportunity, and great patience coming up from Big just to lock that round down.
Couldn't be happier with that one than really for Big. I mean, I guess, sure, you could take 5 guns through, but 4, that's damn good. Excellent work from tabseN. Just a slow walk out in mid. Searson does much the same over on the A-bomb side. Gets the pick with the AWP, and from there, it's kind of the round over. Good flick there from tabseN as well.
Big missed opportunity for AGO. Yes, they're going against double AWPs and the pistols, but at that 5 and 5 apiece scoreline, a massive opportunity was created, but it was not seized, unfortunately.
And that's kind of what you need to be doing if you are the underdog, is seizing those opportunities. You're going to get them every now and then, but if you don't take advantage of them, your mistakes are going to be capitalized on by the better team more often than you're able to capitalize on theirs. So that's a big, big opportunity sort of let slip by AGO. And when you're the underdog, kind of need to take control of those.
Yeah.
Man, since the update, the dynamic of the B side is just so odd with that one smoke that you're able to dance around just on that edge of default and just fully clear all of stairs. Yet the T's never seem to be able to punish it.
Still working out the kinks, I suppose. x-kom forcing up here. Going to be going pretty heavily towards middle very, very early on in the round.
Oh, Searson going to be caught just trying to lob a nade and it's not enough. Smoke to lobby.
I love this approach from AGO. Every time they get this opening pick, they seem to just fall back and
Furlan.
reset. Furlan punishes that push over onto Xantaros in towards ramp. So they've got the extremities still held down, and now you're going to see AGO group up, start moving towards this ramp side of the map. Big, very much split up at the moment. Not really gambling. Still just sitting on each individual part of the map towards middle. You're seeing Tizzy, and he's the main point of contact towards Secret for the time being. And he's going to have to go big for big.
He certainly is. Double kill required, or better. He spotted out Furlan early. Fiku goes down as well. Tizian might be stepping up large just when he was required to. And he's got the rotation that's come across from Tabson as well. This is now defendable for big. AGO, though, they decide to just slink away for the moment. Flashbangs do come through. Now the smokes land. It's the utility usage from AGO that they're going to push off the back of. 2 through Scaffold. MHL, though, goes down, and Tizian, he's had a huge round. It's Groovy in the one-on-one against Keto, but he's only got 6 HP to his name and 35 seconds. He's got no idea where Keto is, and he's been spotted out as well. Big will make the clutch happen, and it's largely thanks to Tizian. A 3K on the A bomb site, and that is huge.
That's the same problem as you saw against the double orbs. Like, they're just playing so timid. They're playing like a classic underdog. Just not going for those trades effectively enough. Even when they have a massive advantage, they're playing not to lose. They're not playing to win. You know, they're not going out there and getting those trades moving and rolling with full confidence. And the rigidity and how timid they're playing on this T side is meaning that they're getting punished by Big going aggressive.
And just here on the pistols again, you can see AGO going straight into Searson's AWP, but this time he was poised at the ready. AGO just looking to make their way through. Jump up, bit of damage going to be traded both ways. MHL looking to wrap onto the AWP, but it's not going to work. It's Keto to slide it through here on the B side, just dishing out the damage.
Fundamentals looking a bit too good for big at the moment.
Such a clean anti-eco. Up 8-5 now on this CT side. And I'm worried for x-kom because individually they're not playing as strongly as you're seeing big play. So when they move over towards that CT side, I'm getting a little worried for them because you're going to start to see some of these aggressive riflers on big really activate on that T side. Look for some of those duels. And if x-kom, they're not warmed up enough to be able to deal with that on the CT side, or they don't have their fundamentals in check, then they're going to be starting to get punished.
Some early utility. Furlan already straight up to the sandbags, and again, just looking to wrap around Crane early. Let's see if Xantaros is at the ready this time. However, this time there is 3 CTs standing here on short, just waiting, jumping. Xantaros almost caught off guard as MHL looks to thread the needle, and there it is.
Great start. Searson misses the shot, so here's another opportunity for AGO. Gonna have to make this one land, though. If this goes to big, I don't really know what to say. AGO, though, Tizian is sitting inside of the smoke, and he could certainly cause a ruckus, but it's going to have to be a big one, and it won't be. He's taken down. This is a much better round from AGO. Tabson in a 1-on-5. Starts well. Ruby down. Furlan trades.
Dude, Tizian continually gets himself stuck in those smokes. He tries to play on the edge, tries to play around him, and then it's always just a Molotov to force him in and just stay in there, try to work the timing. Unfortunately, this time, there was just some T's at the ready.
Yeah, that was a good round from AGO. I think they're pretty consistently finding a lot of success relying on Furlan's ability to go up ramp and find entries, create space for the rest of his team to roll through. So I like the fact that they didn't slow things in the mid-round. I think when AGO have looked their best and they're most dominant here on the T side, it's when they keep rolling through when they find those advantages. But when they play from a disadvantageous situation, are they going to go back to this timid play style, or are they going to try and make some plays and regroup and make something happen in this 4-on-5?
Well, that's it. Searson managed to counter what Furlan's been doing with that fast push up the ramp, getting aggressive with the AWP early and managing to slide one through. Just going in anti-flash as well, not going to be hit by that too early. And now it's AGO that need to try to fight their way back into the round.
Well, they haven't had too much success over toward the B bomb site. Keto has been the standout for big. He's 15-7 at the moment. And he's well aware that AGO have some presence over here. There's the util that's been thrown in, but they're starting to back away. And, well, Keto's doing the right thing, gathering some info now for his team. He sees stairs are clear.
Searson on the line, though, with this AWP. Could just get a freebie and fall straight back into Secret, weakening the push for AGO. But luckily for AGO, he's not hitting that one. Big starting to rotate over towards this site, starting to mobilize their forces. They still do have a couple of counter flashes and some smokes.
This is a dangerous one for Fiku. Indeed, it's going to go the way of Searson. He'll repeat the angle. AGO not looking for the trade just yet. Flash goes through. Searson, he's stuck around a little bit too long. Is that the opening that AGO needs, or does Xantares shut it down here? Only one, though, for Xantares. It's back to 2-on-2. Tapson rolls into the bomb site, shuts down the first, and MHL has no HP to his name. This should be a freebie for Keto, who is wrapping around the back, but maybe Tapson will get it in the end. Scoreline will be 9-6. Big favored at the end of the half.
Smile when shit's rough nowadays. Change our reactions. You just gotta love yourself. 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 Hope you learned your lesson, girl. I cannot teach anymore. Hope you show some faith in men. I am not like anyone. 'Cause I am over being sober with myself and I'm with you. I am over being something I am not. I'ma turn it to the man now. Hey, finna get my money, ain't no handout. Hey, finna be a legend like I'm playing now. I ain't gotta focus on my friends now, huh? I'ma turn it to a man now. Hey, finna get my money, ain't no handout. Hey, finna be a legend like I'm playing now. Hey, I ain't gotta focus on my friends now. You just gotta love yourself, yeah. You just gotta love yourself, yeah. You just gotta love yourself, yeah. You just gotta I was in the field, realized I could make it. Sacrificed all my time towards greatness. Been alone in the dark, isolated. And my dreaming isn't real, what separates it. I never know it's coming my way, yeah. Cold out of stone, stay out of my lane, yeah. Leave me alone. This is my moment, finally found what lights up my fire.
Scoreline is 9-6 right now between Big and AGO. It's obviously the second half of Vertigo. Map number 1 between these teams. And at the moment, Big is in the lead. Not a bad first half from AGO, but it certainly did leave a little bit to be desired.
Well, heading into that pistol now. Big straight onto that T side, but a couple of little clicks in the chat. You know what that means.
Resetting the round.
Oh, good. Needed a bit of time to talk about what happened in that first half anyway. So, What was your favourite moment so far? Mine had to be the nade stack with the Tabson walk off the side. That was just the greatest start to a round.
I liked the 3K on the A bomb side. Was that Tabson holding the A bomb side? Or was it
Tizian?
I think it was Tizian.
Tizian.
Yeah.
He got that kill on 2 HP. That was pretty nuts.
That was good indeed. We've got a little bit of a pause before we head into the second half, ladies and gentlemen, because, as I'm told, there is a keyboard swap going on, which is interesting. I remember my first big CSGO event was Crown 55K Invitational, fellas. The one in Melbourne, which Virtus Pro and Cloud9 came to, and Pasha got very mad in a game and broke his keyboard. And one of the staff that was working at that event had to drive like 2 hours to go and buy him a keyboard because it wasn't like a normal keyboard, you know. It was like some random weird keyboard that you couldn't just get in any random store. So someone had to drive like 2 hours away to get it from this random PC store because he needed the same type of keyboard, right? Anyway, that's the keyboard story, and it looks like the keyboard story in this game has been sorted as well.
We back. We live. And we got a bit of early utility being thrown both ways here on the pistol, as it looks like a bit of a rotation going on.
Yep. Big still got those 2 sets of util. Taking their time, climbing up some ladders. 3 points of contact always, safety first. Oh, he's pulled out his Glock. You can't just climb with your feet like that. But they're going back towards middle. Do think there's that one set of utility getting ready there from Tizian. Probably going to Molotov up onto this jump up as the Glockers round the corner to take mid control here.
Well, it is going to be 3 men on this B site to hold, but that molly has completely missed the mark, and Oscarish able just to continue to hold from this position. Nade misses slightly, but slows Big down for now as they still commit to the push anyway. Furlan able to find a first. Oscarish another on the Tizian, and this can be even trades, but Furlan so strong. And he's still able to fight here.
1 on 2 though for Xantares, and he's the kind of player that can make this happen. Certainly now. First couple of shots do connect. 1 HP, and that's done it. 2 on 1 for Xantares. They've both lined up, haven't they, Mac? And both been binked in the head, and oh, dearie me. 10-6, Big picking up the pistol. Great clutch from Xantares. Cool and calm under pressure.
Nice little lineup found at the end to get Big back into the round, but I thought that Furlan had done enough to get AGO over the line, and now it's going to be a rough second half with Big taking that T-pistol. Rough for AGO, rather.
Yeah, they're going to try and force their way back into it, though. Pistols and armor, a fair bit of util. Does look like Big intends to make their way over towards the stairs. MHL has already lost his life over there towards Secret, so not a great start as the rest of the other 4 players size up Oscarish alone on this B-bomb side here, lads.
Let's see how the Deagle goes. Spots it, lines it up, but doesn't hit the mark this time. Flashes forward and again is just going to try to fight. Going left, right, unable to find a thing. It's the nade from Fiku to start things off as Big just trying to make the way through. Fiku doing God's work over from the side now, and he's going to go and reposition in the same spot, just single-handedly doing all the defense here. Searson finally on the trade, but the damage might have already been done.
That said, Big are good in these numbers, disadvantage positions, and they've brought it back to an even 2 on 2. Furlan and Groovy trying to play close with those pistols, but the Mac-10 and the Galil still the more powerful weapons, but maybe I've spoken too soon. Groovy, all he needs is one more shot, a quick headshot onto Tizian, and the round is over, but smoke goes down, and Groovy holds the angle. Tizian jumps above the spam through, and now it's not even going to need a headshot.
And it's all down to this shot. Who hits it? Tizian, can he find the head? Yes, he can, and he clutches another for Big on, 13 HP of all things. The man makes it scary, but Big get another slotted up on the board.
Yeah, it's just that timing, unfortunate for AGO. Big will grab themselves a second round in this second half, up to 11 already. AGO look like they want to force in again. Well, it's not quite a force, it's just a nade stack. But we saw some pretty good stuff from them on the T side with the nades. So I wonder what they've got cooking in the lab here on the CT side.
Still holding on to 3 of them. All sort of around this A side of the map. But it does look like Big intends to, once again, just poke and prod towards the stairs. Nade progression from them. Molotoving out some of these awkward positions here. As well as applying a bit of utility pressure towards middle as well.
And Oscar calling for the smoke Exy now as the rest of the boys start to make their way through. Nades in hand. Can they place them perfectly? Big haven't gone for the full commit yet, just sending k0 as tribute.
Here come the nades. They're all lining them up, sitting behind that smoke at the moment. Bomb plant's going to go down. Surely this is the time you throw them, and it is. They've connected well onto Tabson and Searson, but not well enough to find a kill for AGO. And unfortunately, I think that's going to be their chances in the round, dissipating as well alongside the smokes.
k0 manages to get that one done eventually. 5 HP remaining, yet still happy to stand there and fight as Big now 6 rounds in the lead, doubling AGO's rounds. But another big one. And some great patience just holding there at the stairs before going for the full commit. Now, we're getting to the pointy end. Big only need 4 more rounds here on map 1 to finish things off nicely. k0 opting for that second flash instead. Just going for the double straight over mid. This is a nice fast approach from Big now. Good mid take. Molly as well, hitting the mark perfectly. Everything going much faster now for Big.
Oh, Ruby under a lot of pressure as well. Cops a grenade at his feet. That pushes him away, and Big are quickly in toward the B-bomb site, although they've been slowed down by some of that util. Tabson's looking for the entries with the MAC-10 right now, and Fiku's hiding behind the smoke. Big do definitely slow things down in the mid-round here, but they're not expecting Fiku. He could have almost lined them up, but he does eventually control the spray well enough that he gets both Tizian and Tabson. And he's helped out as well, AGO. That's a much better looking round and a great inroad on the CT side, but really, it is only the first of many required.
Well, that comes down to a large bit of luck and Big just forgetting some fundamentals over at a very common position as well. Look at the timing on that nade pull out. Fiku able just to fully line up the double and still manages to get away with his life. That is complete ridiculousness over on the B site. But AGO, that's all it took. And now they can just buy their way back into the game. Minimal damage onto their economy in round 19 and round 20. This is where they can break Big.
Opportunities definitely there, but again, going back to that last half, can they seize those opportunities? Because they're already at a round deficit here. They could use a little bit of a break, to be honest. Breaking Big's economy would give them that. Very slow round for Big. That's a key aim duel to be winning. If they lose mid-control there and Grubby goes down, things are going to get difficult, but things are just getting easier for x-kom AGO at the moment. A 3-man advantage, but can they stop it from getting expensive as Big start to look for some of these damage kills towards the late round?
The fact that, I think it was Gruby just didn't get, Tabson didn't get traded out there is absolutely ridiculous. MHL,
1
HP. He's very lucky and gets away with murder as well. He has to thank someone. Probably Gaben for that. Tizian, 1v5. Is there any chance here? AGO, good structure, good timing. Nice peaks together.
Well, I'm going to say no chance, Mac. And that'll be proven correct by Groovy. Up to 8. Not a bad round at all for AGO. They keep 4 guns alive, and that's 2 on the trot now in the gun rounds as well. So ramping up a little nicer here on Vertigo.
Nice couple of shots coming out in that round, and AGO only 4 in the deficit now. Should be 3 after this round. Big not investing a single thing, just a bunch of Glocks. Actually, Tizian does have that P250, but he's lost it before he can even fire a shot, really.
Oh, this nade actually goes a little bit too early. Big looked like they were going to push up the ramp. The second does connect onto them. And this should be a pretty easy farm for AGO. Just to do a bit of stat padding, that's exactly what will happen. 9 up on the board now for the CT side, and they continue to put money together. They've got a lot of cash. This might actually be a more difficult map for Big than they might have anticipated after winning the first few rounds of the T side. I thought this would be done pretty cleanly.
Yeah, well, AGO do have a pretty good track record here on Vertigo. They are pretty strong here on the CT side. A couple of confidence boosters being found in the last couple of rounds as well. Could just swing the mood, swing the tide, and get them straight back into the game. But Big looking for a faster approach over towards the bottom of ramp. Now just on those deagles, that double eco really hurt them. Furlan He's going to be hunting for an aggressive play here. And Big just staying disciplined, waiting for the smoke to fade. But AGO's setup here on ramp is just going to be way too hard for Big to deal with, unless they hit some nasty 1-digs.
Bit of a slow round this time from Big, and it doesn't seem to have worked out too nicely. MHL opens up with the AWP, and they're waiting for a push here, which they're going to get. Xantares finds that pick onto Furlan, which is going to be an AK in his back pocket. He does have armor to back it up, but oof, the armor doesn't help against the grenade, and all over the map, AGO are just dismantling Big.
Yeah, just a nade stack at mid to find a 2 quite easily. And AGO, they're just going for some nice rotations. Whoever Tabson, late on the approach, is going to walk straight into MHL's Crosshair, who misses this time, but gets it on the second shot. And he's just so sharp on the AWP, just sliding it through to ramp early, able to get the trade onto Furlan, who I would say was starting to overextend given the situation. You had that man advantage and gave up a rifle. That's where the round could have turned around, but it didn't. AGO locking down mid like champions here on the defense, and now they're just 2 behind.
Yeah, it's been a nice little string of rounds for AGO. So far, it doesn't look like it's going to be ending, but maybe a change of pace for Big can be the undoing.
Everybody's blind. Just flashes everywhere. Furlan has traded positions, and Searson has no idea that that one's come forward. An aggressive play somehow works out now for AGO, just taking huge risks here. Big nade. Furlan on the line, and has the go of the dance around, unable to get another. Tabson might be able to bring Big back into the round. Groovy stops them, though.
Yeah, I mean, you say huge risks, but Max, sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. And AGO are acquiring said biscuit. I wonder what kind of flavor it is. Chocolate chip? What's your favorite kind of biscuit, Mac? Milk arrowroot, shortbread?
I don't know. Pilski, you're a man of Polish heritage. What's a Polish biscuit?
Gingerbread. I like gingerbread.
You can't expose me on stream like this.
You always talk about it.
Polish biscuit.
Well, not Polish heritage. But
yeah. Well,
surely you got a national biscuit. We got the Anzac cookies.
Nah, I don't remember my grandmother ever giving me any biscuits. She just fed me cabbage rolls.
Disappointing, Grandma.
You got to risk it for the cabbage roll.
Hey, have some respect.
What?
She's no longer with
She
us.
fed you cabbage instead of biscuits.
Cabbage is nice, man.
Oh my God, I'm outnumbered on the desk.
Yeah.
By cabbage lovers.
Get out of here.
Yeah, you're meant to be German, mate. You're meant to love the cabbage as well.
I do not love sauerkraut in the slightest.
Oh.
Well, you're not really German, are
Fake
you?
German. Fake German here.
Fake Germans.
Get him out of here.
Oh, well, look at Furlan. He's in a solid position here and has to deal with the pistols. Couple of nice nades already. Getting some chip damage for free. And now it's all about the timing. 2-man peek. That should be the round, although Bink's going back towards AGO. Very risky jump nade. I don't know if that one was meant to come through. Tizian slots it straight through the top of the sandbags, and AGO are crumbling in the round, but still, the 3 remaining Big players all so low.
Well, they've got to just try and get something done here, Big. I mean, they've been really struggling with the guns so far. It's not going too well even with the pistols either. Oh, Xantares, though. Where's that come from? He's got one-on-one against MHL, and that'll be finished off in the end, but too close for comfort for AGO. I blinked and I missed it, to be quite honest with you, Mac. It's 12 apiece, though.
Man, God, Tara's almost doing it on the pistols. That would have been a huge upset, but AGO just barely lock it down. And here's that shot. Able to slide it through the top of the sandbag. You shouldn't be able to hit those. Ridiculous. And speaking of, another. The Deagle's just so strong for Big. However, didn't get the round. Made it costly, though. So it's the long game that counts. But we're getting to the end of regulation with a huge amount of traded utility here towards the bottom of ramp. Furlan, again, just looking to go for an aggressive push.
He's made it work once or twice. And Big should be kind of prepared for this, to be honest. AGO have not wanted to give up control of ramp too easily, particularly at the start of the round.
And with this utility that he's using as well, he's just baiting out potential for a push, which will go straight into MHL's Crosshair as he gazes from halfway up the ramp there. Another molly, great util, just being rotated through, but AGO, they're running dry on it.
Well, Tizian at the moment sort of lurking around through mid as well, trying to get a bit of an idea as to what's going on there and potentially calling the rotation for Big over toward the B bomb site. Searson has caught MHL. That's an opener for Big that they haven't really had at all on this T side in the last few rounds. Every time AGO's been able to string rounds together, it's been off the back of an opening pick. Now it's Big that have the numbers advantage, and they must convert, Mac.
And Groovy, he's just going to take the line at the peak on the contact. What can Furlan do? He's still got full control of the scaffold. One for three. No, whiffs it, and that is not going to be anywhere near enough. One man remaining. Actually, it's two over towards the A side. They've already gone for the hard rotation. Keto just gets straight through Fiku, and it's all up to Oscarish, but misses that one op shot. That was the only opportunity AGO had in the round, and Big are back in the lead, 13-12.
Yeah, that's a few whiffs from AGO that have kind of cost them the round there.
Yeah.
A big stack on the A bomb site, and Big really just prepared for the constant pushes coming from Scaffold. I was kind of impressed. I thought, okay, surely they're not going to expect the second guy. Surely they're not going to expect the third guy. But every single time, Big was watching.
To be fair, should have been an AGO round, or could have been much more AGO-sided if Furlan didn't whiff the spray on the guy holding utility.
Yeah.
Second man wasn't aware as well. I think he also had some util out, and it all just came crumbling down with one whiffed spray.
Yep.
There it is. Oh, Tabson.
Yeah, Tabson just jiggled to the right, I think, which might have saved him.
Yeah.
And Keto was the one that I'm talking about, impressively being ready for the third player coming across as well. Xantaras might have got away with a little bit there by Oscarish missing that initial AWP shot, but by that stage, the round was already won for Big, and it's 13-12, so they're back in the swing of things. AGO, though, their coffers are still relatively full, so Big are going to have to win a round again here to break the bank.
Both teams with a little bit of cash. You want to be seeing. Again, it's a little bit of pressure towards this ramp area. Big just set up in a default. It's up to Furlan and MHL to slow them down, maybe try to find a pick and make it easier on themselves. But if they overextend into Xantaras or Searson here, could have a problem, and he catches him on the reload, but it's 1 for 1. Traded back, and you see the rotation start to come out for AGO now.
And MHL just trying to get out of there as fast as he can. Big now. They've got full control of the ramp, and they can go for an exit at any given moment. AGO. I don't know if they're going to go for the retake, but Grooby's gone over to the elbow with MHL, and a nice line here from up on top of the concrete.
Just going to flash Groovy into Scaffold. He'll take a look there, take a quick peek, and doesn't see too much at the moment. So, MHL, all eyes on him. Connects the shot, and the grenade surely finishes off Searson. Smokes in on the A bomb site, but that's information for MHL that there's not a whole lot going on. Keto, however, hits a good quick entry on the B bomb site. Off we go, charging on in. Fiku's there, though, to hold. And it's a 2-on-3 still. If Fico survives, he doesn't. Could have been an interesting round. Molly's down onto default, but it's not going to stop Tabson from planting the bomb. MHL, however, hits a good shot. Now a 1-on-2. And MHL, he's got no fear. He's got a 4K in the round back. Just continues to take those duels against Big. It makes him work.
Yeah, and Groovy was very close towards him, so he decided to go for the aggressive, get some chip damage, and hope to be traded out. But he just did it all himself. So that one, reminiscent of what we see coming out from Sicko from Renegades very often, is just, you know, hey, I'm just going to run him with the P250 and see what happens. And there it is. Another beautiful round, just keeping that AWP alive as well is going to be great for the economy of AGO as, again, Big. It's kind of all over the place. They might have another buy, another force buy coming out in the next, but...
they should be fine for a buy, except for on Searson in that next round.
Yeah.
As for AGO, though, their economy's actually slowly but surely getting chipped down, so they really need to actually come away with one of these rounds a little bit more cleanly than just having 1 or 2 players alive. They need like 3 to 5 to be able to start building up some of that CT money, particularly as we're heading towards the tail end of this half. Now you're seeing Big. It's going to be pressure towards the stairs. Xantara's already copped quite a bit of damage here. The boost to try to catch Oscarish off guard. See if it'll work out for Keto.
Oh, slows him down, and he stays crouched as he does get onto the ledge, but the read is there, and Keto somehow survives for now, but if he jumps off, he could be dusted. Good nade to deal with Oscarish, and somehow Keto's still fighting.
He's screaming for help when he gets it in the end from Tabson throwing that nade in. Rotation, though, has come across from AGO. If Big commit to the B bomb site, it's a mistake. Luckily, they haven't committed. They're on the rotate back to A. Slow and steady. They've got plenty of time. AGO starting to think now.
Yeah, Furlan's got full utility. It's going to chuck a smoke over towards Secret side. Big taking their time to clear out some of these angles. Actually, it's the run boost across just to be able to clear Secret.
Nice.
Maybe throw the CTs off. Furlan trying to play towards Secret side. He is going to be joined now by Oscarish, who's just rotated. Oh, it's actually Groovy who's just rotated over here to join him. And they're going to play a passive crossfire on the site here. But Big have the utility to be able to segment off these angles with the smokes and the flashes.
And that one Molotov as well can be dropped straight onto default and force Big not to go for the plant. And they're leaving this so late as well. Let's see if this one comes eventually. Furlan just waiting to drop it at the perfect moment. But does he have a lineup? There it is. Perfect positioning. Bomb goes down though.
Yeah, low HP though on a lot of these big players. The HE nade doesn't connect for AGO. That was their entryway back into the round, but now 3 on 5, even with 4 very low HP big players, this just doesn't look like it's going to be possible for AGO, and they're getting nothing for MHL.
They really need a save here, AGO. If they drop any of these guns, they're going to have a lot of trouble buying in towards that next round, reducing their loss bonus.
Man, there is 58 HP between 4 different players. That's kind of ridiculous.
Well, got to hit those headshots, man.
That's
Can't be
it.
spraying for the toes.
Well, what if they did hit the headshots? I feel like Tabson copped the bink. Xanthera's probably copped the bink as well. Looks like Tabson's actually been finished off by the explosion, but still, 1 loss in that round is more than enough to maybe send them over the line.
The money's pretty cooked here for AGO. This is a nightmare situation if you're on that CT side.
Yeah.
You get your economy broken here. It'll be match point for Big. They've still got a fair bit of money built up from having 4 alive in that last round. So this is where AGO, they really need to dig deep. Basically what they have on hand right now is what they need to use to win this game. They've got a pretty good buy this round. If they don't close it out cleanly, then they're going to have a lot of trouble sort of evening up this scoreline and trying to surpass Big and claw this game towards the end. Whereas Big, you can see the money that they built up. They've got a couple of chances to get this over the line here, whereas x-kom much more limited towards this 1 gun round. And if they get it done cleanly, maybe they can do another one as well.
Such is the advantage of the T side late in the rounds. AGO were able to put on a big string of rounds in a row toward the start of this half, but they've let it slip a little bit at the end stages.
Just a little bit of pressure towards the ramp here. A lot of players over here. Tizian being left on the lurk. The spam from Furlan is such a key round, and he gets it done as well. That's a 1-man advantage in a key round for AGO. They need every edge that they can get.
I think Keto's behind that wall, so he's just barely safe there, but my God, AGO might have just found the answer.
Tizian applying utility pressure, but the double push into stairs from AGO gets them a lot of information, which is going to allow them to be very, very safe. They're going to have this 2-man crossfire. Groovy under pressure here, though, as he gets Molotov'd out of sandbags.
Going to be a flash set up here from AGO to allow Groovy to peek. Xanthara actually does get the better of Furlan.
Flank coming out here from AGO. All they need to do is buy time, and this round is theirs. And there it comes through.
2 for Oscarish on the flank, and now it's just 2 remaining for Big. I don't know if they can get this done. 15 seconds off position plant, and MHL unable to stop it. All of a sudden, Big could be back into the round. Groovy with 1. Xanthara's 1v3 now. 1 bullet could do it. Lineup was there, but a nice shot from Oscarish locks it down for AGO.
It's not just the round. It's 3 players surviving on that CT side. So, so crucial. Bomb plant for Big. They've got plenty of money to keep buying here, but AGO, at least for now, they stay alive. They could drop some guns over to those last 2 players. Can even get that AWP back up on MHL. Very, very key. They even things up 14 apiece.
Well, definitely a good run so far today from AGO, but can they secure the map?
It's the same position once again, you know. AGO, they have not much loss bonus built up. They got a little bit of cash in the bank on a couple of their players, but if they lose this round, or they win with like 1 or 2 players surviving, it's going to be more difficult for them to recover than Big, who have just run out mid and taken full control over there. Searson trying to control that rotation over 1 missed move here from Grubby, and it's going to be round over.
Oh, but Furlan again. Looks like he's gone for a bit of a adventure down on the A rank. Ruby finds the line. Searson slides it though. And look, they're just trying to decide which site they want to go for this time. Smoke goes to lobby. It's going to be the wrap straight to B, but what can Fiku do? Not much. Tabson starting to tear through. Oscarish with a double. The man's been on fire with a rifle.
Yeah, but that is the B bomb site opened up. As long as Tizian gets around okay, which he does. There was no push through the smoke from MHL. And the plant goes down. 2 on 3 for the retake. I mean, do you go for this?
Just a save. It should just be a save from x-kom. Yes, they've got the kits, but it's quite hard to get back into that site. Actually, the flank in from Furlan, though, if it goes well, which it hasn't, that's definitely got to be a bit of a sting. You're losing that rifle. Might not have the money to replace it next round. Not to mention the fact that he had a full belt of utility, lads. And that's going to be big through to match point.
It's a lot of money.
I want to see what kind of money AGO ends up with here.
Let's see if MHL can make this slightly more expensive. Bit of noise being made.
Needs to hold on to that. That's going to be so key. Yeah, 2,500 on Furlan, 2K on Groovy. This is exactly the kind of money situation you do not want to end up with facing match point on the CT side. Absolute nightmare situation.
And look, AGO, they need this map. If they don't get this map, it is probably going to be a 2-0 today. So if Big can close it now, that is them going to be extremely happy with their performance. AGO, however, now's the time to stand.
End up with an MP9 and the Deagle. And a little less utility on some of those players. Does this pigeonhole more aggressive play or more risk-taking from x-kom AGO? Do they try to push some part of the map very early on?
That's the man you do not want to be peeking at this point of the game.
Well, he had a big impact kill in that last round. He cops a nade. 2-man setup towards mid from x-kom AGO. Tizian just lurking over here while the rest of Big runs towards this ramp area. Starts to work it after waiting for utility. The double push is punished. I'd say that's probably the game for Big. It's anticlimactic as it is. Just holding in a default and punishing some of those pushes. We saw Renegades win a whole tournament in Cologne, just doing that in the grand final.
Look, MHL is going to have some kind of heroic round to get them back into this one. But look, AGO on the wrong side of the map to the bomb right now. There's some utility being thrown over towards the B side, but it's a full fake as MHL is going to try to do a bit of a dance.
Hasn't really sold anything, I don't think, for AGO, although they actually have rotated all their players over to B. They've only seen one player there. Gonna give up A. Not good news at all. There's util for a retake here for AGO. They've got defuse kits. I mean, it's theoretically possible. They're going to have to go for it. That's great work from MHL. Does not deny the bomb plant, but brings it back to 3 on 3. Tabson's going to be the difference maker here, though, for Big. He's on the off angle. Furlan has no idea. Position's given away, though. And if Tizian drops here on Tabson, he can't get all 3, surely not. Oh, the shot's missed, and he does indeed finish it off for Big. 16-14 the scoreline, and they just edge AGO out on Vertigo.
Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting the blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Yeah. Black sheep, black sheep, black sheep, black sheep. I don't even write no more, man.
Tell him, yo,
God.
can't you come over?
On my conscious shit commando. Pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my tent. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Lose it. Niggas get substituted. Nigga, you're not recruited. Cause you're too damn scared to use it. The truth is, you're useless. I'm ruthless. I've proved this. Keep capping, I'ma leave you toothless. You're so dumb to choose this. Ain't gone outside, I make it work. I'm in my bag, that's every purse on my back. Is that your girl? She got an ass, she make it twerk. And why you mad? I got her first. You say you rap, you got a verse. I say the swag, you probably hurt. Back to the lab, you gotta search. On my conscious shit commando. Pulling up with clips extendo. That's no game Nintendo. I don't ever run out of ammo. I'm gon' need me a benzo. No fake friends, no pretend. Think I might have found my 10. Posted up in my tent. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it. Watch your man go dumb, go stupid. If you're the best, then prove it. Got no words, be quiet, stay moving. I got a bag, won't lose it.
Why are these boys so stupid? Counting me out now, I'm counting my money. I'm probably gon' cop me a new wrist. Y'all gon' think I'm a nuisance. New sound, know me, who this? Yeah, bitch, I made some improvements. Me and the gang been bowling. Your shawty gon' think we're the coolest. Elizay say we got clips. We bout to make it a movie. I make a hit I can't miss. Damn, the charts might sue me.
16-14 and map 1 goes to Big. It was a hard-fought victory, but AGO do fall over in the end. Big will be happy to pick that win up. Taps him with a 3K at the end as well. Very nice way to finish things off, but maybe a little bit too close for comfort.
I would say AGO, they played a pretty good game. There was a lot of advantageous situations where they could have done a little bit better. They were a little hesitant. There was also a lot of disadvantageous situations where they found themselves in some 3-on-5s, and some individuals really did some heavy lifting to be able to get them out of some sticky situations. So I have to say, all around, I was impressed by AGO. That's a good game for them to go look back at and say, hey, we could have improved on this. We could have done this a little bit better. Here's some things that we did very well. We can use that to play to our strengths later. And that's what I feel like Pro League is all about from them. I'm not expecting them to be big here, but they gave us a really entertaining map of CS. They showed that they're quite a proficient team, at least on Vertigo, and they could take it up against Big.
Yeah, that's it. They just kept it extremely competitive. Like MHL, Searson, both on the AWPs, just going head-to-head, just made that really interesting. Furlan as well, with a couple of those really aggressive, crazy plays in the smokes as well. And Tizian doing the exact same thing, just forced to make some random plays by jumping in the smokes, moved out of his position by a Molotov, deciding to go forward rather than back, and keeping it extremely interesting. But even so, Big, they only just edged him out 16-14, and that's not one of Big's stronger maps.
No, it's not. But obviously, we're moving on to Dust 2. That is one of Big's stronger maps. And for AGO, Vertigo was their map choice. So to see them dropping that now, it does feel like a big blow to the series for AGO.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think looking at AGO on Dust 2, the only results that really fill me with any kind of confidence is the fact that they've been able to beat Sprout on it, which they're a pretty okay Dust 2 team as well. But they have definitely had some losses to teams that, you know, aren't really inspiring you with a lot of confidence, like some of those lesser European teams that just sort of float around there. So I would expect Big to be able to close this out 2-0 on Dust 2, I'm assuming. My heart kind of breaks for AGO, although it wasn't that 15-14 round number 29 that, you know, was the make or break necessarily for the series. There was a lot of different points where things could have gone differently. That last round where they aren't able to maintain good enough CT economy, Big has the loss bonus on the T side that we all know and hate, or at least I do. And basically they just have that MP9 and Deagle, and that sort of pigeonholes them into going for a more aggressive strat, because if they play the later round strat out, all the way, they're just going to be out-utilitied and out-mid-rounded in a lot of situations, especially against a better team. So they have to go for that aggressive strat. That's why they go for that double push into mid, trying to make something happen. They're punished for it, and they lose the map. It's a gamble play, but a lot of the time you do have to try to take a bit of a risk when you're playing from a disadvantageous situation in terms of weaponry and utility on the CT side.
And look, I'm very worried for AGO heading over to Dust 2 because Searson is on one. He was hitting everything through anything. You know, there was that round where he got the double wallbang. Neither of them turned into kills, but that could have been another round making it the tides turn completely in Big's favour. But look, Big didn't play without their, I guess, screw-ups throughout it.
Well, we will see what Big's going to be able to do on Dust 2 as well. Mac, there's been a lot of discussion about your mustache.
Where?
In the Twitch chat. I want to know, before we go to break, is there anything special you can do with that, or are we going to be disappointed?
I'll give out free mustache rides if you want.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now? Pilly?
Maybe not right now.
Okay, maybe not right now. Maybe after the break. It's time for us to go to a quick one. Don't go too far, though, because Dust 2 coming up here between Big and AGO. And Max Mustache will be back as well.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors, and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
The stage is set. From your home to the arena. We proudly support the living room champions like we do the champions of the world. Providing you with the best tools in your pursuit to be a star. Euronics, official electronics retailer of ESL Pro League.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.bet.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Euronics, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GGBet, and America's Navy.
Big and AGO right now in ESL Pro League Season 12 to kick off day one on the B stream. Big up 1-0, and they're doing pretty well for themselves, fellas. It's getting into the wee hours of the morning here in Sydney, Australia. So, Mac, do you know what that means?
I think it sounds like it's time for a little bit of a time check.
Time for a time check. Time check. It's 6:17 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
We do want to speed things up a little bit, Matt, because I know you've got work to get to. You need to be on the job site at about 8 a.m. So don't want to mess things around too much. I'm understanding that we're into the game fairly shortly.
Beautiful.
Quick fire thoughts, though, Pilski, before we go into Dust 2. What are we expecting? Who's going to win? Is it a 2-0? Does Big just stomp AGO here?
I said 2-0, one closely contested map, one bit of a blowout, and it's Dust 2. It's one of Big's most tenured maps. I'd expect a bit of a blowout here.
I think you're on the money, only because of what we've already seen in Dust 2 is a playground for Big.
Well, it is indeed, and I told you we would not be waiting around too long at all. It's time to head into map number 2, and it's Big up against AGO. Dust 2 is the map, and Big with a one map advantage are looking to close things out here. 2-0, AGO fighting to stay alive in the series.
All right, kicking it off with this pistol round here. 2 sets of utility for the boys on the CT side, the boys in the blue. So you do see the GG bet odds, mostly favouring Big. You'd expect them to. A 1-for-1 towards Catwalk, heavily contested by the CTs for the time being. As the smoke goes up and Tabson just bangs 2 straight through it.
Ridiculous. Tabson, he's a madman, and he doesn't actually know that he's got the bomb control right now. So AGO could have an opportunity, but Furlan going to be stopped in his tracks before crossing there, down to 5 HP already. And look, it's pretty much all going to be on Oscar-ish to get the job done. Well, Keto should be first contact here over towards CT.
That is pretty unbelievable of a start for Big. Keto works his way out. Oh no, but he gets both of them as well. Are you serious? How many double kills does Big need in a pistol round to win? Turns out it's 2. That's the answer, 2. Not too many.
Can only get 2 double kills.
That's what I'm saying, Pilski.
How has Tabson done that? Look at this. 1 through and then just spams away. Just too much noise being made by AGO there as they make their way up Cat. And then Keto with the perfect timing as well. That is a feels bad for AGO.
That's a good time to be yelling, "See ya, mate!"
See you later!
Team speak. Maybe get a little bit more Australian on this broadcast, but we'll save that. We've got 3 weeks, so we'll see how far down the rabbit hole we do want to go.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Start slow.
Quick play from AGO out mid, and, well, there's another see ya, mate moment because Xantares has sprayed down 3. Nothing to get too excited about for AGO. They only had the Glocks in the round, so 2-0 the scoreline.
Yeah, don't get any damage done, though, and that's going to mean Big's money looking pretty good. That's what you want to see on the CT side of Dust 2. You need
Just
all
like
those
yourself.
grenades just to be able to fully take that control. Run those long protocols, be able to chuck those Molotovs down at the B tunnels, stop some of those rushes. x-kom AGO, go for this full buy round. 1 Galil, pretty good utility distribution across the board. Going to go and contest long, which will be given up here by Big. You see Tizian, he was going to throw the nade set there, but the push into lower dark is also punished. So good start for AGO, 1-man advantage and that long control, but the push up mid from Tabson could be where Big starts to wrangle control back in favor of the CTs if he finds his timing.
Well, Searson with the scout, and that is something that we've seen before. Tabson lurks behind, holds on. Oh, no!
How's he done that?
Oh, that's...
You could see even the raw adjustment on MHL's head there at the end if the FAMAS would give him some luck, but...
Bit of RNG, that gun, you know?
Yeah, look, not the best, Mac, but Searson with the scout.
Yeah, has some of the targets up for him. MHL, 75 HP. Oscarish down on 18, and all it's going to take is a body shot here from Searson to really open things up. Not onto MHL, but he gets 2. Oh, dearie me. Well, there is a reason that everyone talks about this guy's scout. Now the USP comes out. Oscarish, surely he sees the shadow, and he doesn't.
It's just there.
It's just there.
It's just there.
He's just there.
He's just there.
Where?
Shoot. Shoot.
Where, Mac?
He shot him.
Just there.
He shot him.
Well,
that's
that's
just like
why.
the matchmaking call out. He's there.
He's there.
Oh, he's there.
He's just there. He killed me.
Oh.
And Searson just slides straight through him. Makes that look so easy. What was that? 4, 5 body tags to
Someone
get
stop
2, 3
him.
kills.
He just keeps wide swinging.
And there's no punishment for it as well. That's the issue here.
Just A on the keyboard, D on the keyboard. Hit some mouse 1s in there. All of a sudden, x-kom's dead.
Let's see if there's any change of pace now. AGO, a couple of fast rounds from them. Big as well, just no holds barred. But this round slowing things down. Tabson here at mid should find a bit of action. There's the first, unable to connect fully. Groovy gets away with 7 HP. Nice placement of the molly to slow down the push, and AGO are going to be rerouted straight up short.
Which is probably where Big want them to go, because Searson holding with an AWP on the A bomb site.
No utility here for AGO. This is going to be one of those rounds where you see some goofy run boosts, maybe. Try to create the space, throw off Searson's scout shot. Or will he hit a nice flicko to make Elfish Guy happy?
I'm a big fan of the flickos. Run boosts. Oh, actually does get past Searson, but he doesn't miss the second opportunity. Tabson's also chiming in, and it's looking pretty good so far for Big. Searson having a good time on Dust 2 before he's shut down by Fiku, which will actually result in a bomb plant. So both teams probably not too disappointed so far with that.
Orb going to be picked up as well as we do head into round number 5, but Big, very solid start to Dust 2. To their map pick, and here on the defense, it's just looking too damn easy for Searson. What is he, 7 and 2 already, just 4 rounds in. He's looking to continue to have a field day here. AGO back on the bye, MHL with an AWP to play with. Let's see if he can go toe-to-toe with Searson now.
First proper buy round here for AGO. Big still a little bit of cash behind him, at least for the time being. The contest in towards long. It's the Molotovs. I don't know if he wanted it to land on top of the door there, but gets put out as AGO trying to bust through the smoke, but the Molotov is on top of the door. Is that intentional for Big? If it is, that's massive brain.
What? And that's why
he
it
burned
wasn't
him alive.
That is ridiculous.
That's just the kind of thing that you would expect Big to come up with, though.
Well,
hopefully Pilsky can go and get that one for us.
I'm going to have a look.
Let's make no promises, but let's see how it goes.
It's intentional. It's a
intentional.
lineup. It's a lineup. I'm going to find that.
Alrighty, well, Ladies and
gonna chuck
gentlemen,
that one in
one's
the books.
going to be coming up on a nice little segment shortly, hopefully. But that is bomb control already in AGO, a round where they have had absolutely no chance.
Yeah, that's not how you really want to start your campaign on Dust 2, is it? First gun round out the gates, and you've just gotten absolutely wrecked. Big are going to build the money up. There's going to be plenty more incendiaries where that one came from. MHL and Groovy are just stunned, wondering where on earth has their team gone. Might end up just even being a save here from these two because they're feeling so unconfident in being able to retrieve that bomb.
The only issue is MHL with 100 HP, or $100 in the bank rather, sorry. Look, Jordan, it's 6:30 in the morning. We're getting to that point. My brain's a little bit cooked, but still, AGO should be able to save through. And let's see if MHL can get some impact with this AWP going into the next. Just going to be some AKs retrieved, free upgrades for the riflers on Big, and that's going to be 5 clean ones. Look, literally no damage done to them this round either. That's 500 HP over on the Big camp.
5 and 0 as well. There's that molly that Pilski's been yabbering on about. And a good spray as well from Tizian, who's helped out by Tabson. Great hold on long, and that's certainly going to make AGO scared of heading in that direction again. Keep an eye on where they go this round, but I dare say it's probably not straight out the long doors. And indeed, that is going to be the case. Up towards B this time for AGO. Oof.
Initial pick goes the way of x-kom. And they're starting to slow things down in the mid-round since obtaining it. You're seeing Big, they're shifting in their rotations. They're starting to centralize around catwalk and middle, which might indicate that they want to go for some aggression, at least on the timing. As for x-kom, progressing a bit of smoke utility in towards middle, trying to find a pick towards CT, and it's nicely traded. MHL really on point this round.
Yeah, just utilizing that saved AWP nicely already. 2 picks for AGO, and now with the man advantage, we might be able to see a trade come through, but if they're sending it over towards the B site here, Zantara's there just behind Heat and waiting.
It's the only defender on that B bomb site for the moment. Knife out, he's lost his gun, he's picked it back up, it's all good. Let's see. What can Zantara's do with that AK? He's forced out by a molly. Does get the first and the second as well. Oh my word, Zantara's, they've just lined up for him.
How's he done that again? From it nowhere. Big.
Yeah, he's just making it look easy, isn't he?
Just individual performances, keeping them in these rounds time and time again. And now Fiku has to try to win this. They know exactly where he has to be, just utilizing the rest of that utility. There's no flash. It's going to be Tizian again through a smoke on the timing. Him and Searson swinging through together, at least at the double stack. There's 70 seconds to play with Fiku, finds the first head. And down to 24 HP, he goes down as well. Tizian at the ready. And saves that AWP through too. So Big still a clean Dust 2 at the moment. 6 and 0 as AGO make that round costly, but even so, Big are just looking too good.
Well, it was kind of what I expected, more so from Big.
Let's take a look at... Oh, nothing apparently. Let's go back to the game apparently. Cannot see that Skybox Arena. That's a bit sad, but I'm sure we'll get that fixed up in a little bit.
Yeah, well, we do have something interesting to show you. 6-0 the scoreline at the moment, though, and AGO will hopefully have something interesting to show us on Dust 2 as well, because they're going to need it. They're down 6-0.
All right. Well, I think it's just going to be the half buy here for AGO. Or... Well, Groovy's investing in that Galil Scout. So just going for damage here. I mean, they've got full loss bonus at this point, so they're just going to try to chip down that CT economy a little bit. Keep Big's economy honest.
Boost up to short now. AGO just looking for a freebie, but there's no one from Big to find there. Prioritizing long control this round. Tabson doing a great job over towards CT as well, making sure no B splits happen. Or at least they're harder for AGO to fix. But now it is just going to be 4 men making their way up short. Great utility to maybe get their way to site, but even so, they've had so much trouble getting past this big defense on the A site.
Well, big defense on the A side, big defense on the B side. Doesn't really seem to matter. The result is always the same. And look at this utility usage from AGO. Searson is just absolutely locking it down. He's gotten a double kill, and it just doesn't seem like the trades are going to come through, although they do inevitably. It's a little bit too little, too late. MHL in the 1-on-3. Has to pick up the orb. That's his favored weapon, and he has spotted one down in CT spawn, but easy as you like for Big. Another round with 3 guns left alive. 7-0 now the scoreline, and it just does not seem to be getting rolling for AGO here on Dust 2.
They got another gun round in here. AWP back on MHL, which is where they found a lot of impact before and put themselves in an advantageous position. Hopefully they can try to do so once again. Would be ideal. Seems like, once again, a bit more of a default round, a slow round on this T side. Taking that map control. The boost up on Searson here. He looks for that peek into lower. Dodges the flash nicely. It's actually Keto on the head stack. They're into that double orb setup, and it's worked magic here. One-man advantage for Big.
And again, if Big needed any more advantages, like they're just fighting for them time and time again. Keto almost nets himself a second, but we'll fall back for now. Molotov going down to split up the troops, but AGO commits straight through it. So much damage being taken by the utility. Tabson not going to be spotted. There's no one watching this. Zantaras as well through the doors for double. As Fiku on 4 HP needs to do something, but Zantaras is not going to give him an inch.
Big is just looking way too good in these rounds. Everywhere that AGO goes, they're copping utility damage before they even get into an engagement. It's pretty obvious that Big are reading this play so well. They know exactly where AGO is every single round.
Into the double orb setup. 8-0. There's a reason why Big is one of the best in the world on this map. Just an absolute shutdown of x-kom at the moment. They're going to go for another one of these half buys, try to get a cheeky round across the board, force their way up catwalk yet again.
Oh, an MHL. Anyway, Tizzy in here just holding push up short. Nice double.
These are exactly the kind of rounds that x-kom need to take advantage of. Fiku's picked himself up and all. The retake is actually up short as Zantaras is put in position by the utility. Keto starts to make his way around long, but Fiku's holding that angle down.
Good shot though from Fiku. Zantaras in 1-on-2 can keep the perfect record alive for Big. He's already pulled off some clutches for his squad tonight, but that's a hefty chunk of damage to start things off. Now, if he does get the kill onto Groovy, he did have a smoke available. Might have been able to defuse inside of it, but not this time. And AGO pick up their first round on the T side of Dust 2.
To be fair, though, that was like 4 months ago or something, I think.
Yeah, that was a while ago now.
They haven't played each other for ages.
And Big is a whole different team since the online era has been around. Hence why there's a whole lot of confusion with them. Because you get a different Big day to day, I swear. But today, they're bringing their A game.
Nice pick for Fiku, though.
Yep.
Handed that AWP to be able to go for that spawn play towards long, and he finds the initial opener for AGO. Let's see if they can convert here, though. Searson posturing aggressively towards catwalk.
Oh, and he's going to go back for a second attempt. Spots that util come through, unable to get a second, but gets away barely. Oscarish stops him. Zantaras, how's he here? He's just gone for the aggressive push straight through uppers. AGO unable to do a thing.
Well, Keto's going to have to do something here for Big. AGO, they're starting to walk out onto B, but AGO posted on the line. He knows they're coming. Over peaks, and MHL would punish him for that. AGO getting a little bit of work done now on the T side. Tabson, he's going to hide in the smoke again, but he doesn't hide very well. 8-2. And he's kind of just throwing that M4 away when Big don't have a whole lot of cash.
AGO, it's the classic T-side loss bonus situation. One of these pistol half-buys gets through, and then they get a gun round together. And Big, after sustaining losses for a couple of rounds, actually start to face some economic difficulties. Which is going to mean that if x-kom AGO can actually get through here against the anti-eco. Oh, it's a push straight up mid, actually. Hold that thought.
perfectly dealt with by Furlan at the moment. Too. Searson does have a scout to play with, but let's see how much longer he survives. Well, answer's there, and it's not much longer at all. AGO cleaning up nicely. One casualty in the round. So it'll hit the economy barely.
Speaking of economy, Big have kind of gotten back into the Buyers Club, but it's a bit of a party mix across the board. It is a bunch of different weapons, and not all of the ones that you'd want. Util's good at least for Big, and to be honest, utility has been a strong suit for them so far on this CT side. We've seen a lot of advantages gained by that util usage. Orps are starting to find picks on the T side for AGO. This time it's MHL. Has been Furlan earlier on in the piece, but wow, Xantares just straight through the smoke. Goodbye, Oscarish.
It's disgusting. x-kom AGO centralized around mid. Conversely, though, the opposite for Big. All around the extremities. Smoke deep into Long Hut. They've got a two-man setup towards B. Searson, the main man, minding catwalk for the time being. Furlan is over there towards B, lurking around, trying to catch a rotation maybe.
But Searson's been so strong here from the A-ramp area, and again, AGO might just work towards him. Furlan not going to trigger any rotations at the moment. 2-2 setup still being held by Big, and there's full long control, so there's only one real direction this can come from. Smoke dropped. Searson wants to fight for it, but again, MHL going to be flashed
the
in.
molly's still going!
How has it continued to burn? Tabson's overwhelmed by Fiku as well. I really was expecting Searson to ramp up from that position. We've seen him get work done from there before, but not this time. And it's a 2-on-3 retake for Big. The nade not going to do too much. Well, actually, it does a significant amount of damage to Groovy, but for all the good that that's going to do in a 2-on-3, Xantara's down now as well. It's Keto to try and challenge. He's going to go for it, but can't land the shots, and that's 4 on the trot now for AGO. They've really turned their half around.
Partly predicated on the fact that they had that T-side loss bonus in full swing, and they got that pistol half-buy across the board. But I have to say, these last couple of rounds, they've been creating their own opportunities. Say Big, pretty hard done by there.
Yeah, and look,
Searson not being able to put out that molly.
Well, he threw the smoke preemptively and was hoping it would bounce off the wall, but because it hit the edge, it didn't fully extinguish the Molotov, which came through. But again, MHL looking for an early pick. Cops the double nade, though.
This is a good push from Tabson. Deagle in hand. He's already gotten one, but has to back away as x-kom AGO turn their players around. Tabson does get helped out by Keto and can now push up to look for another kill onto Furlan. Bit of a weird looking round here for Big, but we're going to ferry some guns back into the B bomb site. CT side have so much map control.
I like this setup at long as well. Let's see if AGO walk into it. MHL spots that cross and deals with it nicely. Keto falling. And Tizian should be first contact. Xantara is playing full anti-flash. They're going to actually find him first by going for the pre-fire. Tizian somehow gets a double. That's going to be control of the bomb. MHL needs to fight back, but Tizian is here to stay.
A bit of a whiff on the first few shots, but if you can make up for it like that, then Big's going to be clapping you on the back, giving you a pat on the bum, and feeling very happy about that one.
Just in the locker rooms, you know.
Woo! A little bit of that going on in the TeamSpeak, I'm sure.
Surely. Winning rounds like that. But again, Big just one away from hitting the double digits in the first half on that CT side. Now early smoke over towards bedroom, but AGO, they're going to go toe-to-toe. Furlan straight into pit in a matter of seconds. Tizian forced back, short control there for Big. As it looks like Keto just going to be left solo over to the B site, but AGO have done nothing, shown no presence over here, so Big appropriately going for an early rotation. Flash into mid as well. Xantara's, he's just hunting for full control of tunnels. So he's gotten away with this multiple times, and with all this information, Big, they can just go for the A stack, try and hold from short, hold from CT, and just punish AGO for the one-pronged approach.
Well, potentially so, but if you have some good utility usage and you hit some good shots from the T side, you can still get into that A site. Handful of nades still there. 2 smokes is what they need for the crossover, as well as a couple of those flashbangs. You can see Big, they've fully controlled tunnels. They're ready to rotate into position, so really it's just going to have to be fantastic flashes. There's only 2 of them left, some decent mollies, as well as some good shots here on the entry here from AGO.
Erlin throws that flash up into the air, and Big have come rotating across. Searson starts well. It's a different looking defense for Big this time. They're defending from short rather than from the site. Tizian burns alive in the volley. Numbers advantage, does slink back, but very quickly traded down. And again, Berlin, he's going to see his teammate Groovy fall. Doesn't have much HP, and the grenade lands right on top of him. 22 seconds here for Oscarish, and he has to get the 1-on-3 now for AGO. No control of the bomb. He's got CTs wrapping in from every angle, and that will be 10 for Big.
And again, the aggression on that CT side, just giving them all the information in the world as AGO. They've got minimal to purchase up into this round. 2 Galil's already there, dropped across. AK for someone, MHL with an AWP. So all things considered, it's not terrible, but the utility, it's so thin.
Yeah. You can get a lot done with a little, though, on the T side sometimes. Especially if you're going to go for some of those quicker plays. Xbox smoke with the Molotov up short from AGO. Oscarish flashed out mid, Tapson. He's put off the line. The smoke from mid to B comes out, but he finds a good timing to pop out anyway.
Grenades again are going through. Tabson continues to spray. Furlan's down as well. It doesn't get any easier for AGO as Keto takes a peek at the perfect time as well. It's just fallen apart this round.
Tizzy in top mid. He's going to find MHL, and it's all up to Groovy, who gets 1, but that's not enough as Keto sends us into the half. That's an 11-4 scoreline. Big are going to be happy as Larry with that.
Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting a blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots on the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'm a dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting a blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, not everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
Das war ein fantastischer Halb von Big und der deutsche Mannschaft sieht gut aus für ein 2:0 heute. Oh, sorry, the translator. Translator didn't work. Translator didn't work. I didn't plug it in. Sorry.
Thank you.
But
everyone's left now.
What did
they
you
think
say?
It's the German stream.
Quick shout out to the Germans, who are obviously watching Big, and they'll be quite happy with their performance so far. 11-4 in the first half on Dust 2. AGO, on the other hand, need to do some work in this
Pushing
second.
to upper dark. Look at all these CTs. Is there any left of them? It's just Groovy. He's trying to backpedal.
Oh, but he's got that P2K and is looking to dish some damage, but it's Antares to stop him, and now it's going to be a 4v1 situation. And look, I've been thoroughly impressed by Furlan's performance so far, but again, 1v4, that's just too much to ask for.
Yeah, Furlan, I don't know that he's going to be able to do this one. Does move quickly, though, with the USP. Spotting in towards mid. Hasn't seen really a whole lot, but does get rid of the head of Keto. So off we go. Maybe the 1-on-4 possible now until Tabson rolls around the corner and deals with him. That's that. Big have won the round. Big have started the pistol off and, well, finished it as well. Second half, off to the races.
Nicely done. x-kom tried to get aggressive. Tried to catch them before they could get that B hit going, but unfortunately they kind of just walked into the crosshairs of a bunch of sharp-looking big players this game. That puts them at a deficit straight off the bat into this second half, as if things weren't bad enough already. Scouts and Deagles, x-kom AGO try to force their way out of a bad situation, and that's a nice shot from Sears, and he cops the tag in return, but he's going to be happy with how that one's gone.
VQ, off the back of the flash, just tries to create some space. Unfortunately, is going to be creating space for Big instead. Couldn't get back to safety, and this should be easy peasy over towards the A site. Now, smoke on the cross, and Big, very thorough here. Should be able to just lock it down.
Well, Groovy, Deagle in hand, is going to be the last line of defense for AGO on the A bomb site. He'll get a bit of assistance from Furlan, who's trying to spam through the smoke with the scout, but it's pretty wishful thinking at this point to be finding a frag that way. A couple of Galil taps as well from Tizian will send him packing on his way back to the B bomb site to try and save the scout.
As well, going to be saving into that next round anyway. Try and go for a little bit of damage. Find some exits, at least something. There's still 5 players up here for Big, although a couple of scout tags, softening them up a little bit. They're taking a bit of that pep out of their step, but it seems like they're keen to keep hunting here.
Let's see what Tabson can do. 28 HP, and no line for him. Oscar shuts him down.
I mean, there's not that much point right now for Big to try and chase these guns down. They don't have a particularly strong economy themselves, and to be fair, AGO, it is only a couple of scouts, which will help them next round. Obviously, they'll be taking the eco, but it's not the end of the world for Big, to be honest, to be going against this round again, given particularly how easy that one looked for them. 13-4, and Big, well, we knew that they were going to be good on Dust too, and we knew that they were likely to finish this off 2-0 after they won Vertigo. But this is a little bit more one-sided than we might have anticipated.
Let's see if it stays that way. At least this round you wouldn't expect too much out of x-kom AGO. Still got the 2 scouts and 2 Deagles brought into this one to try to go for a bit of damage, but it's the next buy round where they really need to strike gold, essentially. But when they're down 14-4, very little room for error.
And another one found by Searson, who is just so nasty on the scout today. AGO trying to slide one. Groovy having an okay time so far. Arguably, it's just Big, just doing everything correctly, and AGO unable to find an answer. So, again, trades just not favouring AGO in this half yet. They will be finally able to go to their gun round, so at this point, it's like, yeah, just try to carry the armour across. Looks like the scout won't have too much of an impact into the next. But Big, this should be 14 on the board. A 10-round lead, that is just so much, and that's why this is their map pick. That's why they're one of the best in the world right now on Dust 2.
Well, they walked their way into the A bomb site, and it's really not a huge defense, of course, from AGO. In the meanwhile, Xantares is having a bit of a wander. We'll see whether he gets the timing right or wrong here. That could be a very big deciding factor on whether he survives this round. Does start to work his way up, but if he doesn't turn around in time, he's going to lose his head and his Galil. That's a small prize for AGO, but something that they need to hang on to because they're down 14-4 now, or they will be very shortly. Which is going to be a long, painful grind back to the top if they are to mount this sort of comeback on the CT side.
It's going to be pretty much impossible. CT side comebacks are so difficult just due to the nature of the economy. Even if you do start winning, you have to win a lot of clean gun rounds in a row to build up money. Otherwise, surviving with those 1 or 2 players alive, you end up at about that 3.5k mark if you had no money in the bank in the previous. And Dust 2 is one of those maps where you can't really get away with that. Double AWPs are pretty key on the CT side. Utility is pretty key to be able to run those long protocols to secure that map control. So I don't really think it's realistic for x-kom AGO to bring this map back, but can they at least look impressive on the way out? Because they impressed us on Vertigo. Let's see if they can continue to do so. At least this round they do have the utility, so they secure that long control.
Oh, double nade in. Tizian gets away nicely. Quite early there. Who was that? Furlan. He's looking to slide an AWP shot through mid, but he's going to back away to B ramp instead as Kido drops a cross smoke. For Groovy, very advanced into bedroom now. But AGO have invested so much utility early on just to dominate long, and there's only 3 flashes remaining at the minute mark. That's a huge issue for AGO.
Slow and steady, composed really from Big is the way that I would describe this side so far. They're not feeling pressured or rushed into anything. They've really just wasted all of AGO's utility. Now's the perfect time for Big to strike.
Gonna go for this short and long split. You see the 2-man setup though from AGO here. Really it does rely on Fiku playing anti-flash towards that blue bin to play contact perfectly and shut this one down before it gets started. MHL could make it easier on them as well if he finds that pick, but he goes down for free.
Now this is going to be rough as well. Groovy unable to hold the line. Makes the first work. Fiku just holding the spray. 8 bullets and a dream. Groovy doing God's work. Fiku down to 7. Searson, they've lost full control of the bomb with 16 seconds remaining, and Big, unless Searson can find the double, that's it. AGO, they have been gifted another. Sharp shots from Groovy. Certainly fighting for it, but again, Big, it looked like it was their round completely until the dying moments.
4K with a Galil.
Unbelievable.
Against the T gun round.
Oh, I believe it.
With a start like that for Big as well. Well, you got to take your hats off to Groovy for that one. 14-5. One step on a very large staircase for AGO.
That's a clean gun round.
How many stairs does this staircase have, Jordan?
Well, it's got 11 more, I'll tell you that, Mac. And every time Big gets one more round, lava starts to rise below AGO.
Beautiful. Love a bit of lava, especially when it's in cake form. But for now, it looks like it's Groovy making his cake and eating it too. Over towards long now, Tabson denies him with that P2. Fiku unable to get too much extra done. Tizian now in a 1v3. He's got control of the bomb, plenty of time to play with, and he's drawn out every single rotation from AGO. So, yes, maybe there's an opportunity, but AGO, if they play close, go for the trades, should just be another lockdown round.
You say that, but...
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Tizian, he's kind of booking it over toward the B site, which at the moment is the correct choice. He is going to beat AGO there if he holds down the W button. He has, though, decided to shift walk in, and this might give AGO that little bit extra time they needed to creep back across into mid, and they'll be able to now watch through the long doors. That he's obviously not over toward the A-bomb site. But where is Tizian? That's the question for AGO at the moment. Oscarish might be about to find out, and whether it's going to be good news or bad news. Looks like today it's good news, at least for AGO.
Love a bit of good news, especially in the morning.
Yep.
Well, good news for AGO is that I think it was 4 or 5 alive in that last gun round, then in the anti-force. They do have 3 alive, so they've got a little bit of extra cash in the back pocket. Should they fall or falter at some point, it's actually another half buy here for Big. Taking full advantage of building up that loss bonus. Just want to take these ecos sooner rather than later, so they're going to see if they can chip a couple guns away. If they get 2 or 3 kills in this round, it's going to be fantastic for them. And as for AGO, they might be playing at the moment expecting like they're playing up against a gun round, which in some cases can give you a little bit of an edge when you're just playing with the pistols. Could draw out some extra utility off the bat. This is utility into B from B, trying to draw some rotations over from maybe that mid player or the player towards Cat, and they have done that successfully, and now they start to go towards Catwalk.
They're actually going to get out A, and they're probably going to get a bomb down here for free. You do see MHL come floating across. He'll have a crack at least one time with the orb, but won't get too many more chances. So, bomb plant does go down. Big have lost one in mid in the meanwhile. But a 4 on 5, with Eagles in hand, is still possible. AGO are going to have to make sure this retake is on lockdown. Definitely don't want to be losing too many guns, because the catch is relatively low still for them.
Looking to just try to make their way through, and in a matter of seconds, everyone's dealt with. So great patience from AGO, and it seems like Big just unable to hit their shots there, but the Deagles not getting them over the line.
Interesting round, though. They use utility to pull and push rotations the way that they desire. Throw that utility towards B, pulls those rotations over to the other side of the map. Then they hit towards A, get that bomb down. And when all's said and done, they don't get any kills, but they created a lot of opportunities, just didn't really seize them. Now the buy-in for Big. Plenty more loss bonus built up. Now they just needed to win back-to-back gun rounds, really, because they've allowed x-kom AGO's economy to build up quite a bit from this point. So they're going to be able to buy no matter what, at least for the next couple of rounds. Slow round from Big. Not taking any map control fast at all. Forfeiting long, not going towards Catwalk, really just grouping up in towards Backyard.
Still heaps of util for AGO to keep Big out of these sites. They're going to use it at the mid round. You can see now that Furlan and Oscarish starting to try to prod for info over towards Upper Dark, but that Molly doesn't find a thing. Big slowly making their way over towards the mid doors. No one here to stop them right now. MHL very interested in long instead, looking to play from blue. Supported by Gruby and Pitt. Solid positioning, but Big looks like it's all in up short.
Yeah, really taking their time this round. Using that utility well. Run boost across, trying to draw out the shot for Searson in combination with the flash, and Keto just launches it. They're going off the back of this.
They're going to have to go straight at Fiku, who has been the standout for AGO, and he again starts well under pressure from the AWP, but that doesn't seem to punish him at all. Fiku gets a double and a bink onto Searson before he eventually does fall. Time running short for Big. They'll have to run into that bomb site at Xantaras to get the plant down. And it's a better situation for Big than what they've had so far, but it's still far from fantastic until Xantaras gets a free kill onto MHL. So we're back to 3 on 3, and now starts to look a bit more precarious for AGO. Tizian on short, he'll fall, but Xantaras is doing work. He's pushing down the ramp. He's getting Oscarish, and he might get one more. He does. He's really just done it himself. A 4K for Xantaras, and Big goes to 15.
Crazy rifling coming out from the man, and you could see Searson as well, just looking to give up the short or get out of elbow as best he can. He had his head down, he was crouched, he was crab walking over towards Goose, and he didn't even need to be there because Xantaras just did all the heavy lifting himself.
Just blind crab walk tap.
He's just happy to be there.
He's just happy to be here.
That's not the Xantaras peak, but that's something. Oh, tag off the bat from Searson. 1B from Keto over towards, where was that? In mid. Wow. Pick very quickly from Big, and they just launch straight out mid, apply the pressure towards that B-side player. That's the B-side of the map, cracked wide open here.
And this could be the end of the game already. 60-7 on the horizon. MHL wants to go toe-to-toe with the mid players, but Tizian is here, and he loves to play around a smoke. Again, he's looking for it. Gruby able to equalize as he managed to find one. Back to the 3v3 we've gone. He's still pushing in through T-spawn. Bomb has made its way over towards the B site. Just going to be playing at the default, but here's the timing. Tizian boosted up, just catches MHL with the off angle. It's looking perfect. It's looking good. And AGO, they're a man down. This could be it.
Well, Gruby coming in for the rotate. He's going to really have to rely on Fiku to win the fight in mid, who can't actually get it over the line against Tizian. It's now a 1 on 3 for Gruby. And he's got no option left but to run straight into the AWP of Searson, and that will be it. Big secure themselves a 2-0 in their first outing here at ESL Pro League Season 12.
Doesn't have the time, always talks about all the other guys. Will I ever understand? Without her, it's not fair, I need you back. No more crying at the end, I'll do it again.
Today for Big up against AGO, and they get over the line quite comfortably in the end on Dust 2. Vertigo, maybe a little bit more of a struggle, but from the former world #1, who did struggle a little bit in ESL 1 Cologne, it's a nice bounce back for Big. Obviously not the largest of scalps, and certainly not the strongest team that they're going to face here in ESL Pro League Season 12, but off to a good start nonetheless, and that's nice to see.
I would agree with that. I think, to be honest, this series kind of delivered a little bit of everything that I wanted to see. AGO definitely pushed them, as you're seeing in the Game Fuel post-match here. They did get that 16-14 on Vertigo. And on Dust 2, Big returning to that dominance that we wanted to see up against an underdog opponent.
Yeah, a couple of slipped up rounds, but of course that's just because AGO managed to build some economy, and then it was pretty easy peasy to get over the line in the end. You could see that they had the number. They figured out exactly how AGO were trying to play, managed to abuse it, and made it look pretty easy in the end. What was it, 16-7? That's a pretty nice looking scoreline. Big should be pretty happy with that.
Happy with what we saw, though, from AGO. They took it to 14 on Vertigo. Maybe a little bit disappointing not to see them get it over the line because they were looking pretty good at one point on that CT side. Dust 2 maybe left a little bit to be desired, but in the end, they didn't just get run over. So overall, I'm actually not too disappointed by that series.
Yeah, definitely some sharp individuals, some talented players. That's what we wanted to see. And also we can see that if they have their right map pick, they can definitely push a better team and a better opposition. And the thing that I really liked is we saw a little bit of everything from AGO. We saw some good individual performances. Yep. We saw some pretty decent strats. We saw them have a lot to work on in terms of some of those advantageous situations that they weren't able to close out. It's clearly some gaps in their gameplay, but we also saw them turn around a lot of disadvantageous situations when they were down men, and individuals stepped up and got them out of some sticky situations.
Yeah, there's a lot of lineups there as well, but look, you have to really... Look, AGO should be happy with that performance, but even so, they need to bring something else to the table if they want any chance here in Pro League. So
definitely a bit of a step up for a team like AGO. For Big, though, there's a lot of storylines after ESL 1 Cologne of them needing to come into ESL Pro League Season 12, have a bit of redemption. This is one good step on the way to doing that, but there's plenty more work for Big to do heading into their later matches.
Yeah, I would agree. It's a different format, right? Cologne, two series. You have a couple rough days at the office and you're out. Pro League, you have a lot more matches to play through. You got a lot more chances to sort of show yourself in the league. I think this was a must-win for Big to just be able to show that they're starting to turn the ship around a little bit. And let's see how they go up against some more Tier 1 opposition in their group.
Yeah, I think this is just, one in Big stride, and it was good to see that their Vertigo was on point enough to take it off of AGO, because AGO, pretty strong team on Vertigo. Unfortunately, Big's map pool is just slightly better.
Just a little bit better indeed, and that's something that they're always going to have to deal with. What are we looking for in the future here from AGO? Are they going to be able to really do some damage in this group, or is it more of a case of this kind of a storyline like what we saw against Big, where they're just trying to get a map, maybe they're trying to get double digits, and they're just trying to, improve themselves?
Yeah, just improve themselves. That's what I really think is for AGO. They qualified going up against Sprout in one of those, qualification positions where they're coming through from like an MDL or something like that, one of those EU championship sort of things where they play off for a spot in Pro League. So they're just here for their development and to have the opportunity to play some of these better teams and just improve as a team and improve as players.
Yeah, and I'm sure, look, they have impressed us today. Look, especially individually, MHL in particular, he was just hitting everything. Furlan, that's another name you've really got to look at. He was just such an impactful player in so many rounds, just able to get some multi-frags when it really mattered most to get AGO back into those rounds, especially over on Vertigo. On Dust 2, obviously, we didn't get to see a huge amount in that second half, so maybe we didn't get to see what they're capable of, but you really need to go all guns blazing from the beginning up against a team like Big.
Just touching back on Bid for a moment there as well, good to see that across the board they seem to all be sort of contributing. It's an effort by committee as opposed to one player running out ahead.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think on Vertigo, some players had like a slightly slower start, like Xantara's, at least on the CT side, was having a bit of a struggle over there towards the ramp area. But for the most part, pretty decent performance across the board.
Indeed, indeed. Well, speaking of Big, we have an interview ready, and I'm told it's Quito on the line. So good afternoon, or guten Abend, I suppose, for you at the moment over in Germany.
Hello, guys. Yeah, it's in the evening.
Awesome. Well, it's very early in the morning for us here in Sydney, but it's great to chat with you. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I think you probably expected a question about Cologne. Do you want to tell us what happened there for Big? Because it was obviously the result that we were all not expecting.
Yeah, I think we lost to ourselves. Like, we put a lot of pressure on us, especially in the Sprout game, I guess. And then I think we played against a strong NIP. Like, I think we played pretty good against them on the first map, but we couldn't close out the second one. It was like 5 overtimes or something. But yeah, we saw how far they went in the tournament after, so I guess it was like they were really good as well, yeah.
Okay. We've heard a lot that Big has a lot of like coaching staff and stuff like that. You do a lot of prep before the game, and obviously in Cologne you had a couple of teams upset you. Did you put a lot of prep going in here against AGO? And what is that sort of process that you put in before the game to get ready for any competition?
Yeah, of course, we prepare for every team the same. Like we take every match serious, of course. Like every enemy is like same for us. But like I'm not allowed to say anything like what we do before the games.
Ah, okay. Secret.
Yeah, a couple of secrets. Look, that's always the way. So anyway, you have OG coming up very shortly. Last time you played them, you managed to get the 2-1 victory, but OG, they've been putting in some work and are looking very, very structured. So do you think there's going to be too many changes going into that match?
I think playing against them and like especially teams like them and Complexity, for example, they're really hard for us. Like they prepare a lot, like we do. And yeah, they're a hardworking team. I think it's going to be a tough match again against them. And yeah,
All right,
I hope and I think we're going to win against them.
Well, hopefully for you guys, you're able to do that. Obviously, great to have you for an interview. So vielen Dank für das und herzlichen Glückwünsche für die rest of your matches.
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön.
Bye.
Okay, well, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, whatever it is. Guys, great start for Big, but for AGO, a little bit of thinking to do. Obviously, across the board, we've now finished day 1 of ESL Pro League Season 12. I think there are still some matches going on the A stream, but by and large, most of the results seem to have gone the way we might have expected them to.
Yeah, I would say so. I think Na'Vi definitely turning around their fortunes quite a bit. At least on that A stream, I was taking a little bit of a look in the break and between halves and things like that. And Chaos actually got that nuke game across the line with their most recent change. So that's a pretty good start for them. I want to see if they can convert that series or whether it's going to be the reverse sweep from Liquid.
Well, that's pretty cool. So we'll see if that one ends up nicely. But I just have a bit of a gruff now that I want to pick with the one and only Jordan Mays.
What's that?
I felt like a big third wheel. I don't know about you, Mitch, but I felt like a big third wheel on that conversation. I don't know what you said to him at the end, and I hope you wished him well.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I said thank you very much for the interview and
There you go.
best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank God we have the translator here.
All right, Pilsky. Well, I think you might have something ready for us that you've cooked up in the lab.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back and actually have a look at that round where Big threw this really cool Molotov actually on a long hit. So it's actually Searson that throws it. And I wonder if it's like a pre-planned thing or whether it's something that they actually line up and they prepare for. Because you see he's full blind when he's throwing it. And you do see we're going to chuck it out here in just a second. As it actually, what it does is it lands on top of the door here. And you see it starts to burn like right here in this weird angle. And I'm actually going to swap to Mr. Tizian's POV as this round sort of plays out a little bit more. And you're going to see he's full white. And the T's try to go through this Molotov. And they're running in. And actually, the Molotov's still burning this whole time that they're running through. And he gets a 3-man spray down towards the end there. And the Molotov's still doing damage. So I kind of wonder, if the Molotov lands on top of the door, is that something that Big's pre-plan? Is it something that you can line up and make consistently happen to shut down some of these long takes? Because that could be a pretty good way to actually counteract that. And Big would be just the kind of ingenious team to make something like that happen. So that's all I had for that. And yeah.
Pretty interesting.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, indeed. Very cool. Thank you very much, Pilsky, for that. And I'm sure we're going to keep an eye on, what Big's able to do, what they're able to pull out, particularly on Dust 2, a map that they like to play. But there's a lot of other teams, obviously, that we also need to sort of, keep an eye on here in the competition. That is the end of day 1 for ESL Pro League, though, here on the B stream. Pretty happy with what we saw, I guess, from both teams.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think AGO definitely showed some potential. Like I said, just repeating myself at this point, if they get some of these top teams on their right map and they're showing up like they did today, I think that they're going to be a team that you can't take for granted. And some of the teams are going to have to give them, just as Big did, just as much respect as they deserve.
Speaking of that match then, Pilsky, why don't we go and give you guys a visual representation of the result today on the B stream. Obviously a 2-0 today for Big over AGO, and they did a pretty good job in that. Although 16-14 on Vertigo, some hope maybe there for AGO when we see them playing in some of their other matches. On the A stream, though, things were a little bit different. We had a 2-0 for Na'Vi, a 2-1 for G2, and currently underway. Chaos have grabbed that first map against Liquid, which is an interesting one, isn't it? Because we've heard all that news about Chaos in the last couple of hours. Obviously, Steel departing, moving to Valorant, or at least that seems to be the case at the moment. And yet they're still 1-0 up over Liquid.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good performance across the board from Chaos. Obviously, Nuke is a map that they've shown a lot of propensity to play and that they're quite strong on. So that's kind of in their wheelhouse, whereas Liquid, I don't know how Nuke sort of fits into their map pool. I definitely see them as more of like that middle of the map pool kind of team, although they have a pretty decent pool in their wheelhouse as well.
Yeah.
But if there was a map that I would expect Chaos to upset a Liquid or something like that on, it probably would be the Nuke. And let's see if they can do it on more of those center of the map pools as well, or whether Liquid is going to reverse sweep on maps that they're more comfortable with this new edition.
Well, Pilsky, since we're at the end of today, it may be prudent to let you guys know what's coming up tomorrow. We will be back, of course, the B-Stream Bandits. We're here for the whole month. Looking forward to some good Counter-Strike, and it looks like, at least according to Mac, we've got some good Counter-Strike coming up tomorrow. Furia and Cloud9. Mac, I know you're a big fan of Furia.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen Cloud9 play for a little while, so I'm going to be very excited to see how they go against Furia. Furia have had a couple of upsets recently against them, so maybe not in form, but Furia, they're always just that team that is so aggressive and so fun to watch. So hopefully that's going to be a very entertaining, explosive game for everyone at home.
All right, well, over on the A stream as well, bunch of matches coming up for you tomorrow. A few pretty good ones. Vitality versus NIP in the middle there. FaZe, Mouse Sports towards the end of the day. You got a pick of the bunch in that 3, Pilsky?
I probably got to say I would like to see the FaZe Mouth Sports game because it's going to be a pretty good measuring stick of how these new roster changes are starting to come into fruition for both of these teams, that they're expected more of them, at least in terms of a lot of fan opinions and community and stuff like that. So let's see which one's going to deliver.
Yeah, definitely. We casted a little bit of FaZe actually in ESL 1 Cologne, Mac. What did you think of them and how do you think they're going to go in ESL Pro League?
Well, obviously with the roster change, they have been looking a little bit rough, and there has been a few weeks at least. You know, you had Nico who was a little bit worried, a little bit, worried about what the community was thinking of the team coming out of Cologne, but now is their chance to prove themselves. They've had a few weeks to practice.
Indeed, indeed. Well, that is all coming up tomorrow. We're done for today here on the B stream. Would send you guys over to the mainstream ESL_CSGO if you're interested in catching out a little bit more Counter-Strike to end the night off. It is Chaos and Liquid going head-to-head over there. For now, though, that's the end of us on the B stream. We'll be back tomorrow and looking forward to seeing you then.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th Gen Intel Core processors and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
If you want to know what you're good at and, well, also what you suck at, check out csgohub.com. Coming!
We proudly support the living room champions like we do the champions of the world. Providing you with the best tools in your pursuit to be a star. Euronics, official electronics retailer of ESL Pro League.
Everybody loves an underdog.
Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.bet.